Oi, oi. Welcome back to Flat a Day. Wiggly flat thumbs to you all. Welcome back to another awesome Flat a Day. This is going to be Wiggly flat thumbs to you all. Welcome back to seriously juicy, seriously good fun. We're going to celebrate tonight. We're going to celebrate life. There's a party going on around here. It's a celebration to last throughout the year. I heard that song somewhere. So yeah, we're going to have a good time. We're not going to take life too seriously, but what we are going to do is we're going to dive into the juice. We're going to go double deep. We're going to go double deep into the world of giants. We're going to ask the questions like what we all think about in this realm of alternative history is, did we coexist alongside giants? Because a lot of the buildings out of antiquity certainly look like they were built with giants in mind. So we're going to have a look at that and wonder whence they came from. Where did they came from and where did they go? And we're also going to wonder, are they good or are they bad? And also somebody said in comments earlier, which was quite interesting, that maybe they weren't giants, but just normal sized humans, and we little people, just like the little people of Lilliput, little pygmy people. And the giants were actually the people that occupied this realm, and they were jolly big. So are they good? Are they bad? Well, I think, the tales of Jack and the Beanstalk and Fee, Fi, Fo and Fum, well, the Disney cartoons and the film do not, give them any credibility. They seem stupid and they eat humans. So there's that. Fee, Fi, Fo, Fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. I'm Welsh, so I'm all's good. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. So I definitely think they are munching on humans. Now, where do Fee, Fi and Fo live? Well, they live at Beanstalk. The Beanstalk is in the sky. It's in the sky. So we're going to have a look at that. We're going to have a look at the narrative that will blow your mind, because I didn't know about this when I first went into it. Was the original book by Jonathan Swift of Gulliver's Travels, and he was going in search of hidden lands, guys. And it is a credible story. Never mind just Lilliput with the little people, where he was shipwrecked on. Before then, he goes to a town called, a civilization called Lupta, which he discovers, which are flying cities or flying islands with cities on them, like higher technologies. And this book, Jonathan Swift wrote in the late 1700s. So to have flying cities was really futuristic. So we're going to look into the world of giants. I'm sure people who follow Flat Earth British are going to absolutely love this post. Okay, there's going to be so much juice. We're going to look into all of the clues through press. In the past 1800s, they were always reporting on finds of giants, but the Smithsonian Institute or institution or whatever it's called in this timeline had covered it all up, along with other scientific institutions. They don't want you to know about the giants, but I definitely think it's the case. There are towns. Somebody mentioned in comments earlier, a lady, that they have sort of processions and celebrations in Spain for giants and stuff. Well, they have them all over the world. There's one we're going to look at in a minute, very shortly, called in Douai, if I'm pronouncing that right, the town in France, where for hundreds of years they've been celebrating a giant family which once lived there. You can see the thumbnail for this video. Well, it's one of many postcards of this family, and every year they do a celebration, and 50 to 70,000 people turn up to celebrate these giants. Now, this is right the way through our culture. There's ones in the East where they celebrate giants. In Norse as well, there's celebrations of giants, and definitely in Celtics, because Celtic mythology and the Druids, and because of the very famous Welsh giant Oggy, which was known to give Moses a seriously good kicking. Well, Moses needed this because basically he was a psychopathic serial killer, so he had to be sorted, and he needed a Welsh giant to do that. The story of Og is one of my favorites, but there are many Welsh tales and Irish tales and Scottish tales and English tales and European tales of giants. Also in American mythology and mythos, they tell us, okay, that this is pseudoscience and in the realms of mythos when you read books like Gulliver's Travels or BFG, Big Friendly Giants. See, I like to think just because they're big doesn't mean to say they're brutal and psycho and want to rule the world. That's more the little psycho people with Napoleon complex. I see them if they're large, they haven't got to worry about anybody beating them up or anything. So they're just going to be loosey-goosey. And they all got nice threads, as you're going to see in a minute, and stuff going on and civilization, better than us and everything else. So, yeah, we're going to go in the search together tonight on Flat with British. We're going to go in the search of whence they came and where they came from. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to try and establish whether they're good or bad. I'd like to hear what you got to say about all of this in the comment section. Okay, this is an ongoing investigation. And I'm going to bring, this is not a popular thing. This is a bit of a cliche, but it's not popular in the internet world. I'm going to bring the love and the higher vibration. Okay, the love and the high vibration. Love, I reckon it's going to make a big comeback. Yeah, I'm a purveyor for the love thing myself. Because all that other thing, well, to be brutally honest, it sucks. So and me. I like groovy things. Yeah. So, Professor, not so sure what you're saying. Bone meal makes root vegetables. Oh, I always used to use bone meal. I was a garden expert in a garden centre. Simone Willowbrook, excuse me. What are you saying? So I know you're all going to enjoy this post, and we got loads to share, guys. I've got so much. I can only go through a small percentage, but pyramids, they've been on the agenda, you could say, for the last week or so, but I noticed the mainstream ain't picking up on it. If this is the case for the pyramids, they've got giant battery things below them. Is this the case for all pyramids? Because there are many, many thousands. And the further south you go into Egypt, into Lower Egypt and Sudan, there are more pyramids. So what can be thought of that? I think they're all over Britain. I think there's one only miles away from me. What was that, Ray? Mud flood? Tell us more about this alchemical formula that makes you poop gold. I was listening to your show the other night and I discovered this fact. My nickname was Groot. Groot is awesome. I love Groot. Groot is one of those fun characters, especially when it's listening to Radiohead being all cool and groovy. Oh, no, actually, that's not Groot. That was the... is it a meerkat or a fox or a squirrel or whatever the fuck it is? So I love Groot too. Hi, Carol Herring. Carol's in the house too. Ha-ha. All the groovy people. Namaste is... We're getting the Namaste's off cafe. Ooh, we're getting the Namaste's and the love go down. Ooh, it's going to be Smithsonian. Hang on, let's just try and, because I had to hang out a couple of days ago with Guy. You may have seen that, Guy Anderson. It was a really groovy chat. We'll be doing more of them because everyone really enjoys it. Smithsonian Institute. Okay, institute. You sure about that, or it's not institution? I think I'm going to Google that. I think you might have got yourself looped on a mandala there, Neil. I think you're strongly mandala affected there. I think you'll find this institution. I don't know. What's DEA stand for? Drug Enforcement Agency? Does it fuck? Drug Enforcement Administration? I don't know when they do all of this. They change it all overnight and then you wake up and hey, I'm with the show. It's just weird. So Funky Prepper's in the house. Oh, good to see you back on the scene, Funky Prepper. I know, what a bag of balls. Fucking hell. See me. I tiptoe through the tulips, through the minefield of YouTube. And I duck and dive the algorithm like this. Bruce Lee. I battered, by the way. Spread the word. The Beast of OC, son of the British Biscuit. Grind his bones to make my bread. So yeah, they suck a bit, but if you see them in cartoons and stuff, they seem a bit dozy. And let's be honest, when Jack went at the beanstalk, there's this. I got the cartoon, like the 1917 film. I can share with you because it's actually public domain, but it does say Edison made it. Anyway, there's a fairy that just buffets up, just appears, gives him the magic beans. I don't remember any of this going on. Then the beanstalk. Then he goes up there. He nicks their stuff, guys. No wonder they was chasing him. He steals a hat. The talks, a talking hat, a golden talking hat, you know. So I don't know what's going on with that. So, Juice Lee, so thank you for your jokes, Hugh. I love to read your jokes before the show starts because it makes me laugh before the show starts, and it brings up my vibe to the right place. Darcy, good to see you. Singy Baby's in the house. Ted Young is in the house from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Ooh, that sounds lovely. And Nixon. A rainy night in Georgia, and I think it's going to rain. Probably not. That's actually a reset song. That's like predictive programming, Noah's flooding. That I think it's going to rain all over the world. Fucking hell. I don't know what that means, Nixon. I'm partly like dyslexic. This is why life keeps giving me melons instead of lemons. Lee Willis. I think the pyramid was made to make the stars. Well, there's that argument going on where, you know, the pyramids imitate the sky. You know, this argument that keeps ancient aliens in endless amounts of programs, because you can have Andrew Collins saying, "Oh, I think they're lining up with Cygnus," and then you get somebody else who comes in and says, "No, man, I think they're lining up with Orion's belt, yo." So all of the pyramids can't be. Maybe they're making the lights. Maybe the lights are generated by the pyramids. I don't even know. Ripple, good to see you. Okay, Fab Fam, let's have a wiggly flat thumbs happy time. Okay. And I am Carios, bringing the love from San Francisco. Giants in San Francisco. They give you clues. Look at the New York Giants. Why do they call them the New York Giants? And all of that action and stuff you can read about New York finds. So what's this, Funky Prep? Okay, that. Apparently, they have removed the harp location from Google Maps. I seen it. Used to be it's all blacked out. I know, because I'd hang out the other day and I got shown it, and it was. Ew. I did a hangout last week. I'm going to probably put it up this week with a lady from Hawaii who's an author. She's actually an award-winning author. She's got a big channel called Michelle Melendez. But we had a talk, and I've been a bit like worried about actually putting the video up because it's actually brilliant. She wrote a book called Land Grab and in Maui, and talking about basically she wrote a book loosely covering like what we think's going on with these events. But she mentions a lot of other stuff, and like she doesn't live in Britain. She lives in America, so she can say what the fuck she wants, really. Ask Frankie Prepper about that one. So I'm in two minds. I have to put it up on another channel, see if that channel gets taken down as a test. I don't even think that's worth me doing anything like that. Michael, good to see you. What's cooking? Oh, look at you with all your flashy words. Look at Mr. Wanksock. Yeah, let's bring up Mr. Wanksock. Yeah, hit that like button and all of that funky stuff, Mr. Wanksock. I love that name. It's brilliant. Brilliant. They found him dead. They did. Stiff as a board with a wanksock in his hand. And they wrote that on the death certificate. Oh, come on. Let's loosen up. Let's have a good time. Let's be all loosey-goosey. Combat Fame. This is going to be a juicy show, is what kind of show it's going to be tonight. This show is being hosted by Marticus Van Tango. Tread carefully before. Yeah, see what I mean? It's a minefield, isn't it? And as much as I'd love to, I love British Channel, and I know what it feels like to have it all disappear. I'm like, no. Stephen Phelps. What beautiful channel, Mr. Marmite. How are we feeling today? You've got what? Martin is 9 foot and 3 inches short. See, when I first used to do meets and stuff, people would go, "Wow, Matt, you're a lot taller in real life," because they actually thought I was as big as like their television or their tablet. It's like, no, I'm actually massive. My soul's massive. Ask D'Angelo, he's met me enough, haven't you, bro? Yeah, I'm 7'9" in my imagination. Peace frog. Okay, let's do some juice. So there's Ray Mudflood in the house, bringing vibration on 07. So I can see you guys. Give us some juice, Matt. Juice us up, baby. Okay. I can oblige. I can do this. I can do this. Hi from Seville. Hi, JR. I love Seville. Posted pictures of them last week. I don't know whether you've seen and told some stuff. Did I? Or did I dream that? See, I don't even know if I've done it. I'd have to watch the video back. But I was going to share some photographs of Seville and tell you my stories of the trouble I used to get in when I was actually there. Which are probably not publishable on YouTube anyway, but don't worry about it. Okay, Vibes is in the house. Okay, Carrie. Okay, Chris, are you all feeling groovy? Okay, let's get underway. Let's think about giants, because I definitely think this is a thing, because the way I'm going to explain it to you will be in a way that would be like, oh, yeah, I see what you're saying there, Matt. Okay, that's what it's going to be. Okay, as you can see, in antiquity, a lot of the buildings have big doors. Like this guy here, although I admit that they have fannied up this photograph. You can see this guy is a dwarf, but it's to show the point that this guy is a whopping 7-footer. And there seems to be a lot of room around the First World War. I've got a collection of First World War photographs of German soldiers. There seems to be a lot of German giants and Dutch people as well. And I've met a Dutch giant, absolutely massive guy, really, really lovely. Now, I don't know what's happening with this black strip across the top of my bloody pictures. Anyway, yeah, showing up. I don't know what that is. So this lovely, beautiful lady, he's the happiest man in the world. He's falling in love with a lady giant, okay? It's brilliant. But I think this lady is suffering with giantism rather than just a bigger frame, a bigger stature, like giants, an actual race. And I don't think they are human beings, but they look like humans, but they are massive, okay? And we don't know what sort of intelligence that they got, because if they're building all that groovy stuff like Baalbek and carving huge stones all over the world, building massive things, and using sacred geometry and all that groovy stuff, then I think they were probably smart because they had big brains. I think they like to tipple. Okay, because there's massive barrels in France. So all of these old Renaissance pictures, you see large spaces and large doors. Like this is the average size of a human, yet the doors are always up there. Now think about expense and building costs and materials, for example. Oh, I want an extra 20 foot high on my ceiling. That's going to cost another 10 grand, boss. I don't care. I need a really, really high ceiling. I don't see why you would make a building. They don't do it in the modern day. Modern day, it's tiny little square rooms and tiny little windows, and the windows are getting smaller and smaller in Britain, I've noticed. Eventually, they'll cut the windows out altogether. You have a virtual window. You can look at what you want then. Oh, it's come back that thing now. Anyway, so all of the paintings are in the air. So, oh, it's a lovely, that painting up there, I bet, I can imagine. Yeah, it's a long way up. I can't really see what it is. It's trees and stuff. So nobody's going to actually be able to enjoy these paintings because they're not giants. Almost as if these little people that have arrived in this realm going, basically, what is all this shit? I've walked into these buildings, and these have been, in my mind, probably produced by giants. I think everybody was a giant in the past realm. I think Jesus was a giant. Buddha was a giant. I think they were all giant dudes. Okay, so I think the whole place was a giant realm. We are standing on the shoulders of giants, like they keep telling us. So anyway, why have this big, massive space for all these tiny little folk? Oh, lovely gaff you got here. Yeah, it's bloody big, isn't it? Yeah, fancy game of tennis, plenty of room. Just makes no sense. And the mantelpiece. I'm just going to put my elbow on the mantelpiece. I'm just going to tap my pipe out on the mantelpiece, fetch the ladder. And again, with the fireplace and the expensive artwork and wooden vaulted ceiling, I don't think they were using coal fires in the past. Definitely think it's alternative energy sources. Look at the size of this fireplace. If there was a big fire in there, not that it is got one, it's got like some big, oh no, that's a column. There's something else going on in there, because if that was a raging fire, these would be incinerated, wouldn't they? Another beautiful painting over the fire that has no smoke damage whatsoever. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, it's a massive bloody space with huge doors that look like they've been built for giants. Oh, I know. Let's build this massive fucking place and build a 40-foot high door. See, if I was, well, I'm not an architect, but, you know, with money saving and everything else, you know, simplicity, like you've got to keep the whole place clean, haven't you? I'd imagine they must have a team of maids to make all of this clean. But massive places. And this is a church, as you can see, no pews, no nothing. Everyone just moseyed in a church, chilled out for an hour, had a chat, you know, a bit of philosophy. Although the church say philosophy is evil. What? To contemplate what this realm is, because you've got the monopoly on it. Oh yeah, I forgot. So these things, yeah, I think these are some sort of antiquity that would energize you. The definite blast wave coming off them huge organs, that will sort you right out. So everyone's just loosey-goosey, hanging out, discussing, you know, which witch they're going to burn this week. You know that Mavis down the end? Yeah, I hear a gate going every night. Do you? I think she's got visitors, you know. Visitors? Really? Late at night? You know what that means, don't you? Yeah, witchcraft. Burn her! So, yeah, you can see people are just hanging around in churches. They're not going in there per se to pray or anything like that. They're hanging around under the organ, getting their juice vibes. They'll leave the building then feeling awesome. And then the church will go, you owe us. That was God that did that to you. Yeah. And we got like this thing going on with God. So you got to give us money. So you can see these vaulted churches, massive spaces. I think they were all built for giant spaces. He's just coming home from work. Yeah. And his door is like 40 foot high, 20 foot high or wherever. Yeah. And what people do, they just hang around, just do creative things. And, you know, who built all of this? Look at this stuff, guys. How beautiful. Every single lot of intelligence have gone into this. I was wondering whether the Tartarians were giants and the Phoenician mermaid people, who were also well documented in folklore, were Phoenician. That's what I'm juggling with. And what you do is look at this civilization is you get under your building, your massive giant building, get invigorated off of the, you know, the ions, the negative ions that are coming off the fountain, and you cop a feel. You cop a feel. Because you're feeling, what's that guy hanging around watching? Let's have a look at that in a minute. Let's do a bit. I'm actually a detective. I want to see what's going on. It's like a skeleton guy with a key in his hand, dressed in a cape, and he's watching them. I'm afraid I don't know what's going on there, guys. I've just discovered something. Some goings on. So a lot of places in modern antiquity too, like they make no sense. Union Street Station, Penn Street Station, which had to go, guys. They had to knock it down and stick up. I think it was, yeah, well, Madison Square Gardens on the same site, and they put that under the stadium, and it did have massive spaces like this. A tiny little people, a railway station. So I think, you know, I could go further back in antiquity. We'll show you the pyramids, the stones that go into Baalbek, the stones that go into Pumapunka, Sexioan, Tiwanaku. I could just go on and on, couldn't I? So these are Patagonian giants. Okay, now the Welsh are well known to have towns and police force with like Welsh stuff, Welsh language speakers, because the Welsh early on, apart from Maddox going over to America, there was another load that went down, apparently via the Falkland Islands, and then stopped off in Patagonia. Patagonia's hop, skip, and a jump across to this land, which they regard as Antarctica. So here they are. They seem like they're not, you know, they got no stuff. You know, they're in bear skins and they look like a bit caveman-y, and they're accepting gifts. And I don't see any roughness out of the Patagonian giants, but there are some pictures that show them throwing pebbles, especially with Magellan's sort of voyage past. So Jack and the Beanstalk, cracking little story, loads of magic going on. This version, your standard picture, I've actually got this movie, I think it is, the one from 1917. And it says, cost $500,000 to make, 1,300 children, one giant 8'6", castles and cities built, 8 months to film. Everlasting as time, this picture as for all children between the ages of 5 and 90. And I can share this film with you later. I can't believe that they built all the castles and all of that, but it is a proper mental film. 1,300 children. It's like Cecil B. DeMille. I've got the name of this French guy. I'd have to bring up the link in a little while when we go through. I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with French names, if I'm honest. He, in the late 1700s, he wrote a book, Discoveries in the South, where he writes a book about, and I have covered this 1 year ago. It's on my channel. I can't find the actual link to the bookmark. I've only got the pictures, but shit, I can't find it on Internet Explorer either. I don't know what happened. It is there somewhere. It's just that bloody French title. So he discovers these southern lands, this French author, or he writes about, with flying people in artificial flying costumes. So they haven't got wings, they got costumes, and race of giants in beautiful silks, just like what we see for the Hyperborean giants. And they got pygmies as well in the Hyperborean, the lands in the north. Okay. Olaf Johnson told us that they were really kindly, glowing faces and in fine silks. And what do they do all day? Just beautify. So I mentioned this this week as well on the hangout with Guy. Now, just because it says it in ink above there printed, it doesn't make it true, guys. But it has been put out there a few years ago that this was found in a Masonic lodge dating 1593, showing an actual giant body of Adam in the Ark of Noah. Imagine if that was the case. The Adam, the first human, and Eve, they say, are giants. There's giants all over the Bible. You don't need me to tell you about the Nephilim, do you? Everyone's pretty much clued up on what's going on with that. The Nephilim are like, ooh, she's a bit of all right, ain't she? So, because they like literally fancied our Earth women. Well, we ain't sharing Nephilim if you are watching. Okay, them's ours. So anyway, this is this civilization of beautiful people, beautiful silk, special technologies. Somewhere between a wingsuit and an umbrella with electromagnetic qualities like Mary Poppins, and Hairy Marys. You know, these Yeti people, or want for a better word, Wookiees live in this place that he writes about. And these people, they just press a button, the umbrella opens, and they're off in the southern lands. And I proposed that it was somewhere outside of Antarctica. But that's such a sore point to mention just now that I'm going to concentrate on the north, because they definitely don't want that. North Pole, Exodus, movement of your people. Oh, yeah. And not only that, anywhere else. So Napoleon might have been very, very, very small, like homunculus small. Who even knows? But I think that's just like saying, we're bigger than you. And that's Gulliver there. So that's the king, basically, in Gulliver's Travels. Is it? Of Laputa, I think. Anyway, he's very little and he's very big. Dang, dang, dang. So these ones Gulliver discovered in the land of, this is not Lilliput, this is the land of Lupta, And we can find this on the map a little bit later. And Jonathan Swift wrote this in the late 1700s or so, they say. I'm just wondering why he envisioned, levitating cities in the book of Gulliver's Travels. And why is it not in the movie? Why is it not in the movie? So, bloody hell, he's little, isn't he? Yeah, he's really little. But this is the opposite to Gulliver's Travels, isn't it? He's little and they're very, very, very big. He's little and he's very, very, very big. And apparently this happens on Star Wars. C-3PO and R2-D2 got captured by a race of little people. Nothing new under the sun. And they bring giants out in all sorts of ceremonies just to piss around. Giants in the movies constantly. This one, I remember, this was the giant genie. And he's called the Crying Genie. It's a very sad story, yeah. So maybe they were just like this big. Who even knows? Or giant ladies. This would be fantastic. This would be one of the greatest dreams ever if we could be invaded by a race of beautiful giant ladies. Yeah. Now this guy's a whopper. He's on breakfast telly here with they're so insignificant, I've actually forgotten their names. So there's that. Not the Q jumpers, the other two. Horny Willoughby and I don't even know. The Irish person. There she goes. Invasion complete. Thank fuck this place. So there's a big guy. Imagine I met a guy when I was in the Navy. He was 7 foot something, and he had to duck double to get on the boat. It was ridiculous. I thought your life must be miserable. So antiquity, giant of Colossus. We've all seen him standing across the gates of, well, guessing the pillars of Hercules, and Taos as well. And they're like robots. You can like loosen their ankles, Achilles heel them, and then a gas leaks out and they just collapse basically. I think they're apparently robot technology. So there it is. Jack's beanstalk. He plants a magic seed. His mother didn't want seeds, them sort of seeds anyway. She wanted to make some food. This is this golden angel, and it is so Phoenician as well. And it's made of gold. So that is a bit shit, isn't it, Jack? Bags the gold and silver Jack took home. So basically, he goes to another race and he just rips off the giants. Jack and the Giant Killer. There's another one. He's like, ooh, you little ungrateful bastard. I was just going to add some carrots and potatoes to you and have you for dinner. And what do? Nick my harp. Talking of harp, funky prepper. Talking of harps. So there's Giganticus skeleton. A gigantic skeleton. He's a whopper, isn't he? Yeah. And where are we? Homos. Hang on a minute. The homos are there. Goliath. Okay, so homos are down there. The little tiny people. Like literally tiny. And then there's the Goliaths, but they can be beaten by the tiny people because that's been proved by David. Giant Swiss. Oh, the Swiss. Oh, Toblerone's secret then. And the giants of Mauritanian. So they're quite big too. Okay. So we've got different races of giants. Thank God they're covered up as well. With they look a bit itchy, these these little skirts. So wherever you get a lot of French giants. I've got like literally 2 or 3 giant books I have shared over time. So there's no point me sharing them all over again. But you can see that there's like these rooms that we just witnessed will be absolutely fantastic for a Mr. Giant. Also, I've got loads of images of, notice what's in the background here. Indeed, the pyramids. And this Nitocus has enslaved and captured a butt naked, chained him. Giant. So did they just like, because the nature of I know what people are like, did they just go bonkers and collect up all the giants and like basically kill them all? I don't know. They're gone. Anyway, so the giants have gone. There's this family. This is the Douai. I'm not actually a French speaker. I come from Wales, so I couldn't be more un-French. Okay, make giants. Well, the dinosaur bones, Mr. Marmite. I reckon it's just a cover. Yeah. Oh, we just found a big fuck off calf muscle, and it's big. It belongs to a big giant lizard. So that looks like a big bone of a human calf. It's like, don't be stupid. People don't come that big. So yeah, the Douai family of giants. Now these have been on postcards right the way through the late Victorian era, guys, into the modern day. And 50, 70,000 people turn out. They do the same thing every year. I think it was Melisande just said in chat earlier, they got one of these in Spain as well, where they all turn up. And I've seen different versions as well. So yeah, lovely little photographs these. So you can see it's a big deal every year. So they got giants. And he's got a sword, a sword and a shield. And he's got knight stuff on and armor. Does that mean that he's going to chop heads off, or is he just protecting humans? See, military aspect. That is his wife, and I don't think these are their children, because this one is a smaller giant. He's got a moustache, as you can see, but they're massive, aren't they? So the question is why do these people feel the need to come out in their thousands every year for hundreds of years to celebrate the giant family that apparently occupied the city of Douai? If that's what it's called. Douai. Says AI on the end. Douai. But yeah, so they bring them out, show them off, and leave them outside, I guess, for the season. Parade them around the giant family. I'm guessing they're on little wheels, maybe. Maybe there's people inside. I don't even know. But they are fun. What's this one from? This is a stamped postcard. Should be able to get the date off that. It looks like a 1928. Or maybe 1929. In that one. So yeah, the collections of curious aerials going on in the background. Look. Considering television's not actually arrived. I think it's the 5th of the 8th, 1929 on that postcard. So yeah, these are all postcards, mostly, showing these processions. Oh God, that's a strange one. What's she got in her hand? I think it's a sword as well. The people all look really weird. Why isn't anyone smiling? It's like, don't look at the camera, it'll steal your soul. Like, literally, no one is smiling, guys. I don't even know what's going on. There's another colour postcard. That city in the background looks absolutely beautiful. So, celebrated giants. Oh, I think there are people. I think I can see little feet under here. So, there may be people, like, carrying these around. I can imagine them being really, really heavy. Yeah. Okay, these are smaller giants of the Douai family of giants, and they play music, bang drums, and look like they smoke bongs and do things like French things. Eat bread, rub noses. No, they don't rub noses, they kiss cheeks like that. And if you get that wrong, you get in right trouble. I found out in France. It's not, people don't do that in Britain at all. Cheek thing. Bonsoir, oh, mon ami. So there looks to be a Phoenician that is being jumped up and down on maybe a trampoline or something that looks like Venus. It's a lady, she's Starkus. Okay. Interesting entertainment, street entertainment. And the giants have been brought out. We've got a hobby horse. I do know what they are. And just that sort of, look, there's one of those, I wonder what that is. Bunko booth. Just stand in and disappear. So they are in France in the modern day. Mr. Marmite, why are you vomiting? Do not vomit. Clean it up. And they have millions, well, tens of thousands turn out because it's still ongoing in the modern day. Isn't that trippy? So yeah, the French, they're like, yeah, man, we love our giants. We had giants live here, build our city. And then I went into Gulliver's Travels, which gives you maps. And my eyes bug out when I see maps. So he goes on voyages, is what's happening with the original one. from the 1700s. We're going to look at it now. I've got the original covers and all of that. So the Jonathan Swift book you get, and the movies later, Gulliver's Travels, only maybe a couple of chapters or something, guys, because he does these voyages to Lupta. Now check this name here, right, guys? Bal Nibabri. Bal Nibabri. Okay, Bal Nibabri. So Bal, like Bal the god, and Nibabri. Now we're going to find that on the map in a minute, okay? And let me just mark that up and you can see it a bit better. Lugnak and Japan. Now we've heard of Japan. Okay, so he's gone off. This is Japan here on the map. Can you see? Okay, and then there's this giant landmass here out in the Pacific Ocean, and there is the island of Bal Nibaribi, Bal Nibaribi, here discovered. Okay, he goes on these islands, like see this little one here, Lapula. He goes on there, and they got flying ships, guys, and it's in the Pacific. But there's no actual big land masses off of Japan that way. There are islands, archipelagos, that we'll have a look at in a minute. So he went on voyages to find new lands. He left New Holland. Now, in the late 1700s, there's February the 15th, 1743. Anyway, so he set off for sail from New Holland, and not much of New Holland is actually being discovered because New Holland is actually Australia, and they've only got one coast of Australia mapped and only one coast of New Zealand mapped. Now, one thing's for sure is the antiquity that is in the Pacific Ocean makes no sense. The remnants on the most remote islands, you can think of Easter Island, the finds in Central America, like the Olmec heads, which make no sense. Who are they? And Bolivia and Chile, the Atacama finds, and all of these different mind-blowing finds of races of people, possibly Caucasian, a lot of them in Chile and Peru, ginger even. And in New Zealand, originally a race of people occupying New Zealand, Maori people, were in fact ginger. And the same narrative for Aboriginals as well in New Holland, ginger. And also the original occupants of Japan were also fair and ginger and Caucasian, and not the Japanese people that are there today. Okay, so there's a civilization in the Pacific, and it's got big megalithic stones, temples, a structure, a culture, a society. Now, how can island dwellers that do not actually see any neighbors unless they're going to go off in their little wicker boat for 3 years, 4 days, like the Kon-Tiki, and discover another island? So they're not really communicating that much with other islands, I imagine. So quite isolating. How is it possible that they all share a massive culture, an advanced culture of building techniques, namely, example, the moai of Easter Island, which finely chiseled? Okay, so anyway, he goes off on, and this is, you know, I was going to say early 1700s, but looking at that fucking date, that's mad. I'll get to the cover now in a minute. So, Bal Nibaribi. Bal Nibaribi has a capital here of Lagudo. Now, this is actually a fictitious land, apparently. It's not actually existing, okay? I've got a book over there called the Phantom Atlas that talks about this. Says it's part of Mu. Says that it's missing. I think it might be there. It tells you how to get there by use of lodestone and magnetics. Upon placing the magnet erect with its attracting end towards the earth. So the magnet needle will always face north. Okay, the island descends. So they're literally giving you the direction of which way he sailed, and it's charted here on the map. So he's going in an easterly direction from Japan out into the Pacific. Okay, this is the original Jonathan Swift book. Beautiful writing they had back then. And there it is. If you want to buy this book, an original copy of Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels, it's going to cost you 10,000. 10,000 was the cheapest one of the first issues of this book. This one here, you're looking at 10,000 to buy this. Why? Because of what's bloody in it, I reckon. So, Lumiel Gulliver, sounds French, indeed. Jonathan Swift's not French. Gulliver's Travels into several remote nations of the world. Okay. And it is from, oh, that's the price. Hasn't got the year. Has got it in Latin there. Okay, so we went in search of other lands. And that is another cover. And that's Jonathan Swift, blonde chappy. So this is the only map I can get hold of his voyage. So he left New Holland. This is all you can find of the maps of New Holland, because Papua New Guinea seems to be attached, but there is obviously that gap north of Australia. So where all the juice is in Australia, okay, like Sydney and all that, apparently hasn't really been discovered at this point, just all of this part. So he sails from New Holland and he goes up to Japan, okay, and then he sails out into the Pacific, and then he finds this lost continent called Bal Nibari. Okay. So what's this lost continent that Swift was basically a giant in, that was occupied by tiny people of Lilliput? Well, under Japan, there's pyramids. There's huge pyramids under Japan, over the coast of Japan, and also these huge evidences of cities that have been sunken. Got the same here off the coast of Wales, guys. I got some documentation of an old book that says huge cities are sunken off the coast of Glamorgan. And I really do think that's the case. When you look at the beaches here where I live, you see a lot of stone structures and a lot of stepping, you know, like it's man-made rather than a geological formation. So imagine, okay, that it's there. Why not? No flights are going to ever go over it, okay? If it's there in another sense, like the North Pole can only be perceived by people who are pure of heart, okay? And that is why the people will end up seeing that. Same for this. Same with the narrative for Skull Island in the movies. You couldn't see it unless you really looked, where the Amazons were. It was behind a haze. And I think that, you know, you've got to be in a certain state of consciousness to be able to perceive it, and it's fucking there. I think that's what's going on. So he comes out of Japan and he hits Hawaii's remnants. They got a lot of antiquity, a lot of mounds. Giants have been found there. Mexico giants are found in Texas, all over America. I'll show you newspaper articles. And over here, Lemuria, over here, Atlantis. Now, Atlantis, this is Plato stuff, isn't it? This is the classical education that the Phoenicians give us. So like they push Antarctica, like they push Atlantis, I'm going elsewhere. They're justified and they're ancient, and it would explain all of that civilization that got splattered. So there's a lot of pyramids in China. They hide them from you. There's a lot of pyramids in America. They hide all that from you. They show you what pyramids they need to coming out of the jungle. So the motherland of Mumu, and part of Hawaii, part of Fiji, and the central part, which we're going to look at now, Solomon Islands. And coincidentally, that island there of Mu that is being, you know, just guessed, looks just like that map that Jonathan Swift put in that book. Looks just like it, actually. So there. So Hawaii's there, remnants, Easter Island right on the tip. And all of these people, these Caucasian people with this civilization, with these remnants all along this coast, all the way up to Mexico, all the way further up as well, guys. And the same story on the other side. Even some of the remains in Australia are unexplainable. Okay. So in this civilization, that could have been just sunk. You got Hawaii, Tahiti, Cook, some, the Pacific archipelago is a fucking mind blow if you've asked me. How any of that, the French Polynesia, for example, archipelago, you just hop it, bung, 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 all the way to New Zealand. Now, New Zealand has got all of this massive Tartarian architecture that makes no sense for the timescale that they're giving you for discovering. Well, I just showed you, late 1700s, they only got one coast of it. Yet all of them buildings, shit out of nowhere. Same for Australia. Massive cities. Don't know. So, yeah. So out there, Mu is what they say. And there it is there on another map. And all connected in the ancient world. Now, Father Cresby, who I think it was in Bolivia, he had stuff from Sumer. He had stuff from another civilization that he didn't really know. I think it could have been there. So Easter Island, volcanic island, you can see there, is just littered with all of these. Why would they be there is actually a mystery. Why they were buried deep in the mud is also another mystery. And who is this civilization? How could they be so advanced on such a remote island? Were they part of something bigger? You ever took a look at the international date line? It's the trippiest thing in the world, guys. It's on a zero coming through Greenwich, but you get to the other side of what they say is a globe, and it comes down through the Bering Straits. As soon as it gets to where I just mentioned, it goes, wait, and they're going to alter it, apparently. I shit you not, it's the weirdest thing. It's called Kabarati Phoenix Islands. It's part of the Marshall Island archipelago, I'm guessing. It is mid-Pacific, where they had the Battle of Medway, the biggest naval battle in history in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, because no one can fucking see it there. Why would you choose Medway in the middle of the Pacific anyway for a battle? Cook Islands, Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, Caledonia, the biggest quarries in the world in New Caledonia, guys. This was a French colony. Giants have been found in these places. I'm going to show you. Guam. So, yeah, Kiribati, the Phoenix Islands. Kiribati is there. So why would the international date line come down, just go, and it just makes no sense. The timescales are just absolutely nuts, okay? So next to one another on the same latitude line coming down, it is minus 12 hours there, United States organized territories, Jarvis Islands, and then you come over this imaginary line into Kiribati, the Phoenix Islands, and it's plus 13 hours. Weird if you've got an island there and an island there, I should imagine, because there's like they're a day apart, aren't they? And there's French Polynesia. Really, really, really weird and trippy. So could it be that they have done this because there is a giant magnetic anomaly there? Like the existence of some civilization that is deep in the Pacific Ocean. And look at this international date line. It comes not too far away. I wonder what it does when it goes over the Antarctica. I wonder if it juts out and does any weird, stupid shit there. Because you get to the other side of their globe, and it's a straight line, straight through Greenwich, all the way down to Antarctica. But the only place that this weird jutting out thing does is here in the Bering Straits, which we've got loads of questions with, and here, where Kiribati is, where this civilization talked about by Jonathan Swift is located. I'm just saying, yo. The international date line. What a trippy thing that is. I'm sure it's a bigger clue. I just haven't worked it out just yet. So yeah, that Bal Nibaratu, pronounced wrong, civilization was right there on the international date line. They're going to have a future international date line. Apparently, they're going to shift it when it comes out like meow. Samoa's there, inside there, and they're about to put the international date line around the Samoan Islands. I wonder who makes these decisions. Well, I think it's all part of holding their narrative in place and all their mathematics on their globe model, you know. If you look at the same fixture over an azimuthal equidistant, that's a curious thing. You get through to the North Pole, and then it's straight line all the way to Antarctica, guys. Straight through Greenwich Mean Time 0. Okay? You get to here, and it goes, wah, 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 wah. Bit confusing which way is day and which way is night, isn't it? Well, obviously, it's not going to work what I'm thinking on a Mercator anyway. It needs an AE to work that. But that's a big fucking mystery, that is. So, yeah, this is that French guy, Nicolas Ami Retif's Flying Men. He wrote this book, guys, in 1781, and he's talking about artificial flying suits like this, you know, with the umbrella, and they look like robotic suits. But 1790s, he's envisioning this stuff, guys. Bit of romance going on. Fly your bird around. Do you want to come for a fly? Yeah. And these were all in southern lands, which I proposed were in Antarctica. Okay. Newspapers, they used to talk about it all the time. They don't too much in the modern day, unless it's in the Star or the Sunday Sport. But yeah, San Antonio Express, good old Mexico, beach giants, skull unearthed by WPA workers near Victoria, believed to be the largest ever found in the world. Normal head also found, proving that giants were alongside people. And this was this was done by Texas University anthropologists, guys, you know. But they're giving you timescales here of Texas 45,000 years ago. They're saying that these beings existed. But still, they keep going on about science, stuck in science here. So they did back then. And here as well, finds of Mexican skeletons. Old hunters verify the lost race in coast mounds. Give up remains. So these were dug up, and this is also by the scientists as well. An ancient legend regarding this is coming from Ecuador as well, hundreds of years old. A race of giants as well. Is this the ancestor of the American race? Discovery, of an ancient giant's footprint in British Columbia raises questions. Okay, let's have a look. And they give you the measurements here of what they think giants were. Goliath, birthplace, Palestine. Golbara, birthplace, Rome. Funam, birthplace, Scotland. So, the French got one. De Valemont, Count Boucher, and it goes on. Okay, the English got one. John Middleton's a whopper at 9 foot, but he's not fucking 30 foot, excuse my French. What else we got here? The Finnish got one. The Tyrol Germans got one called Gilly. And Patrick Cotter in Cork. And Changar in Peking is also a giant in 1880, 7'8". Some of these are quite recent. 1806 was the Cork giant. Jesus, 8'7". And these ones go back 1400s. Just goes back. So, a lot of interesting evidence for giants in newspapers in the past. This is the Chang giant, as you can see. He doesn't look very Japanese, does he? He's the one that came in that article just now. Again, in a bear skin. Again, looking like they got nothing going on. I don't know if that's just derogative. Maybe they're just imagining what they would look like. Anyway, let's move on. So other things that they got in antiquity which sort of suggest that they had giants is giant books. They have a shit ton of giant books. They have giant books, giant instruments that are no good for people. This book here, by the way, is musical note designations. This is music. And I'd love to know what these music books actually played, the music of the giants. This one's not so, but again, giant manuscript, too big for people. Where's your gloves? You shouldn't be touching her. Sack him. Giant doors. Now, when I went to the Czech Republic, I've mentioned this before, right, guys? There was really massive doors, right? And the door handles had been shifted. They'd been moved. The wood had been filled in, you could see. And then, you know, the door handles were originally up here, guys. And then they just put them, well, they're sort of face height, still high. But they were up here. You know, usually they're like waist height. I noticed that in Czech Republic. It was like, fuck me. These door handles are just crazy high. How would you even reach that latch, guys, if you weren't a giant? And these giant cities. You see a lot of these in the past, don't you? These giant elevated cities. Oh, excuse me. Let me just move the other way because instruments. So yeah, giant violins, giant trumpets. I don't know if you can build, you can't even blow a giant trumpet, but they got them. Giant saxophones, oboes. In this case, a giant, well, I'm guessing it's a violin, not a cello. But it needs two ladies to actually play it as well. Okay, excuse me. And things of giants in the past. Giants in depictions, in paintings. You see giants in old paintings. A giant helmet under the Mediterranean. Giant doors. Giants in Renaissance pictures. I think everybody was a giant. And this is Father Cresby, who I mentioned earlier. I have done a vlog on him, but basically I got like 1,200 videos sat there off my old channel on a hard drive. Doing nothing. Juicy information, but I'm not sure what the things are saying there are actually acceptable in our new communist paradigm. So there's that. So yeah, giant bowls, giant books, giant mummies, and Father Cresby here, who was loved by the people, and they brought him gifts from the jungle, one of which was a giant's crown, gold plates with languages from Sumer, you know, from across the Atlantic, and from elsewhere as well, which they didn't even know. So there's been giant atlases, and not really making that much sense. Again, I know I'm just going to make a book, a massive, massive book. Again, hard to publish. Again, hard to print. Again, who's going to carry them? How do you deliver them via Amazon when they're that big? Just saying, there's a lot of logistical problems with that, aren't there? You know, who doesn't love a good book? Eh? It's the French Grand Marchés. I'd love to go time traveling and go through some British old bookshops of the past. That's for sure. Sniff one of those books out. Right, let's move on. Looks like I've moved away from Giantville there. Okay. The moon is flat, Mr. Marmite has stated. Blurted. How do you know? Have you got a link? This is internet stuff, isn't it? Okay, so all week, new subject. Giants eat. What do giants eat? Ants. Giants. Big ants. I don't know what's normal. Anybody know what giants eat? Blood of an Englishman or brown bones of an Englishman. Grant. They eat people. That's what's going to go on. That's what's going to happen, isn't it? Yeah. Fucking Nephilim. They're going to come. Okay, they're going to go, Jesus, what happened to Earth? I don't think I'll bother. I think we're invasion free, guys. I don't think they'll be abducting anyone anytime soon. Just throw them lot of them. Just eat them. Go and have them. So yeah, pyramids been all over the news. No, I think I think that's fake. It's not on the mainstream media. Reach report, and I was looking at that Italian thing and all that. They look too fucking shady, and it's all them, isn't it? It's sciencey people. The thing is, what I find, guys, right? If you stick a lanyard on somebody, people think they got instant credibility. I could literally wear like a doctor's coat, a white coat, make a stupid fucking badge, and have a clipboard, and I could stand in the middle of my city centre, and I could ask anything. And people would tell me. I could ask personal questions, and they would tell me. Do you know why? Because I got a white coat on and a clipboard. This gives me maximum credibility. I don't even need a qualification. I don't. And this is the mentality of people. They just identify, oh, he looks smart. He's got a white coat on. I bet he knows all the answers. So pyramids. Okay, so power plants. This is old. They're just jumping on the bandwagon at the 11th fucking hour, aren't they? And yeah, we've been on this since time immemorial, haven't we? Look at the pyramids of Niagara Falls, guys. Bet they hid them away quietly, didn't they? Eh? Yes, it is. So yeah, I can't see how a radar could go all that way down anyway, or LiDAR, whatever. And I don't think any of that works on a cloudy day. I think it's got to be clear for anything to be like actually, if it was real from above taking photographs. I think it'd have to be a clear day. But you do get a lot of clear days in Egypt. I'll give them that. They got nice weather. Too fucking nice. They had a tragic happenings, didn't there? There's always tragic happenings. You see the earthquake? Loads of people sent me emails saying, "Man, there's been a big fucking earthquake." So yeah, no, I've seen it. Minimal. So I know I can't say that either. In Bangkok, oh yeah, I can say that. But life went on, and they can clear it all up. So yeah, you can see this in Egypt, right? Is a tower that emanates smoke or steam, showing you that they're a device. And they show them in all these old depictions, but they don't say what it does. I might do. If I spoke Latin. Oh, talking of the giant of Colossus, here he is. You're looking a little bit different this one. He's got a bit of, he's not wearing any clothes, but it doesn't matter because he's a eunuch. And he looks alive. And he's got a burning pot. And you sail. Imagine if you had a really, really high mast. Yeah, that could be painful. Or ticklish. I'm just saying. And they're somewhere between a pyramid and a classical building, aren't they? These old, you know, all this is supposed to be happening in Egypt, according to these depictions. Not there anymore, are they? No. Babylon, we know about that. So Babylon was big, wasn't it? It's got a big tower. And that was built by giants as well, built by Cain, who was, Adam's wayward son, and he went off and built Belbeck. Massive stones and stuff. Yeah, there's the pyramids of Giza, excuse me, in an old depiction. They got the Sphinx as a chick. There, and there, matching Kirster's pictures. It was built by 360,000 men. I wonder how they knew that. 360,000 men. Well, get up to 2025, they're going to sort of debunk this then, aren't they? So shit tons of pyramids in the background, which are not really there in the modern day. And all of these sphinxes, one of which is a chick. Half chick, half lioness. And they're not, are they coated, these ones? They may be coated, but you can see that there's actually 2, 4, 6, 8 sides on a pyramid on these, which there are. Just the 4. And there's the sides underneath as well, if they're going down that way or if they flat underneath. Food for thought, food for thought. So let's have a look at some old photographs of how many unidentified. These are from 1865. So you can imagine this is the first time people have been down here taking photographs of Karnak, who ends up Disneyland and in a James Bond film a little time later.
because they tart this right up. Here it is when it's first discovered, and I would say that this was built by giants. Bricks underneath. And a lot of these have been, these columns here, these giant columns in, this is actually the biggest temple complex in the world. I think next to Angkor Wat, Karnak is the biggest temple in the world. The roof's completely gone, but these columns, they have patched them up in a modern day. Just got to watch James Bond. There's a little bit in there. They shoot bullets in there as well. I was wondering if that's even allowed with ancient antiquity. Cleopatra's Needles. This one got Chinese written on it. All right, there's an all-seeing eye. But hieroglyphics, there's a little dude there, look, hiding. That's spooky, might be a ghost. It's a ghost. Okay, it is hieroglyphics, but you can read hieroglyphics. They're Welsh. Cymroglyphics. Oh, it's dirty, isn't it? It's really dirty. Stuff running all down it as well. Don't even rain there, does it? Looks like there's all ivy up it as well. Anyway, obelisks, I think, were coated with electrum and part of this circuit board nature of the realm. But let's have a look at rudimentary streets of, I'm guessing, a Cairo. Are pretty mud brick buildings and not really much going on with them. I don't like them. Not very good at all. And we got a little church going on. Which looks like it could be Moorish because it's got that there going on, which would make sense if it was in Cairo. Okay, now these Temple of Abba Simbel, they actually shifted, took these apart. I think it was in the 70s. I was little when they did it anyway. They took them apart and then they rebuilt them down the road. And then they flooded Aswan Dam, excuse me. So yeah, crazy they moved antiquity. I wonder how much of that's going on. Let's have a look at this portal. We have the winged deities. See, Egyptology, guess me, is such a repeat of what you see in the Veda and the Phoenician narrative and the classical world. They got all of the cryptids. They got a strange afterworld version of events, which is not really tallying with rebirth. Oh, it's very antiquitechy, that tower, isn't it? It also looks like a clock tower, a balloon landing platform. See all of that stuff they got on the dome there. This is like outside conduits. They're usually made of ceramic tiles. And ceramics, they have them on spark plugs, don't they? They're used in electricals. So I think that they are coating them with external conduits. That's Cleopatra's Needle. So see. Ooh, that's tricky. I've got a picture of the original place where Cleopatra's Needle is, and it's in a little courtyard of what looks like just a shack and a farm or something. And that's not matching with this. They're saying that's Cleopatra's Needle too. So they take this down apparently because it's got special something, and they stick it on a ship and they sail it all the way to London, sail it up the Thames, and they put it up on the embankment in London. But there it is in its original place, they're saying. Maybe this is that shack and that. I don't know. Another photo doesn't tell you that. Got some water going on there. I don't know what style that is. Very, very nice though. The kiosk. They call it the kiosk. And Boulogne. I think you find that can't be Boulogne, because this would be Bulak. I don't know. It's part of an Arabian country anyway, or North African country. I don't know where that is. I looked at a later photograph. Medina Gaban. Let's have a look at this mud flooded in. I've got photographs of this. These pillars are twice as long now. They've dug all of this out here in the modern day after the apocalypse happened, which is probably Noah's flood, what they call. The Citadel at Cairo. Yeah, I've seen these before. Everything in the foreground there is in mud, and it's all like, I never say this word correctly, undulating. No, I said that right, undulating. So it's all undulating. I know I dig this sand because it's the Sahara, but this place is buried. There's people there hiding in the shade. Good thing to do. So whatever was there before is gone. There's just towers. The buildings are mostly rubble. And then you get this huge mosque in the middle behind that huge wall. All the sand all the way up to the top of the wall as well. That's what you need to do. If you're sieging somewhere in the ancient world, get a load of sand and build a big massive sand pile instead of them dodgy ladders. Not that I'm an expert on medieval siege mentality. I'm just saying sand would be really awesome for climbing. And I think this is the Hippodrome in Alexandria that was. It's not anymore, Alexandria. So at some stage they would have been trotting around here in some gladiatorial purposes, apparently. I think Gladiators is about as believable as a TV series, Gladiator. Does any of us remember that? What's that, Melisande? Good to see you as well. Good to see everybody in chat. Coming back and give you all big shouts and chats. I mean, I got 739 of you watching. Thank you for being here. Marianne, Alpha Billy, 70 Dusky, Memory Man, Annie M. Excellent idea. Inundated, Jimmy James. That's what I said. Undulating inundation. That's what I said. Okay, let's have a look at Cairo. Massive city in a modern day. Many, many, many millions. I can imagine it being a rather unpleasant experience. I don't know why I think that, but from what I've heard of going to Cairo, it's just a tourist trap. And you go to the pyramids, it's just all piles of quaver bags and rubbish everywhere. So these are half buried, and men will rip you off and try to get you to fall off your camel if there's a camel ride. It's almost as if they don't like us or something, but they take money. But this is the nature of the tourist trap, isn't it? Give me your money, fuck off home. Welcome to the world. Temple of Dendara. Oh yes, this is partly buried, and I've seen this dug out in other pictures. Again, they will make some money on that. They will make t-shirts, cups, gloves. Well, probably not gloves in the Sahara. No. Covers for mobile phones. Pillowcases. There's all stuff sticking out of this antenna. I bet you this is like 5G of the day. Wow, 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 wow. Just mind controlling them all. Build shit. Stop thinking. Just build. Be quiet. So this is the Elephantine. I wonder why it's called the Elephantine. Not much left of that, is there? So yeah, 1860s. This is like photographs are like just in their infancy. Yeah, it's really cool that they got all this detail so early on. I wouldn't be surprised if these are the earliest photographs. I haven't seen any earlier photographs of Egypt, guys, if I'm honest with you. Usually 1880s. Oh, look, there's a mummy in the wall. Mummy. How I love you, how I love you. My dear me. So, yeah, looks like something's hit it there, maybe. Or let's remove that magic spell or that name so nobody knows. King Tushpa. See, that name has been said for 5,000 years, King Tushpa. I just channeled that from another realm. I just released King Tushpa from his imprisonment. Did you feel that earthquake? That was me that did that. He's one of the Titans. Or was it the Titans? I'm not sure. But anyway, he's coming to get you. A week next Tuesday. Something's happened there. A week next Tuesday, 2011. So yeah, it's fucked up outside Cairo. Look at this. No population. Everything's wiped off the face of the earth. All these temples blitzed like a bomb has hit them or something. Stripped, burnt. Stripped and burnt. Pray tell, what's happened to this area in the past? 1865, everything looks blitzed and touched. Where's all the people? Oh, they're over the other side, aren't they? This is just the temple complex that no one goes to anymore because it's probably highly radioactive. And there's another temple. Yeah, this event must be massive to take these size of stones down. So that's the Sphinx before it got dug out here. Okay. Looks to have lizard eyes. It's a reptilian. But anyway, there's a room inside there. There's a room that goes down into its back, and there's a big chamber underneath. That's known. And it's probably chiseled. It was probably an African lady. Yeah. And then they probably chiseled this pharaoh's dude head on what would have been initially more of an Anubis type affair. I think there was a bit of a dog going on in the past. But anyway, I've got depictions from the 1700s that shows as a lady, and here's a dude. So it's happened later. They're just like some whatever's happened to this area has been taken over and over again, obviously to be replacing the Sphinx or whatever that weirdness is. So it's that whatever the Sphinx is, it's nothing to do with the pyramid, Cheops. Nothing to do. That's where they got underneath the Sphinx is supposed to be a stone, and they like, oh, it says Cheops on there. We'll put two and two together. That means built the pyramid with 36,360,000 men. 25 hours a day. So yeah, they did a similar thing in Wales. They buried all of the Welsh kings on top of mountains here in Wales. And Ross's the sausage, R.I.P. God rest that man. God, awesome human being from hidden British history, Wales, hidden history. He went to some of these places, and they have built fucking wind farms on top of them. They're wrecking antiquity with wind farms, but this looks a bit pyramid-y, doesn't it? Yeah, and this is the Valley of the Kings. So what they did is they stuck everybody who got any money down that valley. Something going on with that as well. Maybe they promised them cryostasis. Maybe you say, pay now, and in the future they'll have technology that can bring you back to life. Sounds a brilliant deal. How much does it cost? 5 million sestertians. What's these here? These marks, like somebody's just gone with their nails. And see these here? Some people think that these are for pouring the stone. People are in that camp of stone pouring. I'm undecided. I think the whole place is just manifested instantaneously. This is just an old West world from one of the other stage dramas that they had. I bet that was a hoot. And it all ended with Julius Caesar slipped on the soap in the shower. That's the real story. I don't want to tell you the rest. So this is all buried in sand or mud or something, isn't it? Shit and stuff. Amazing antiquity. No one actually gave a shit before they went down there, apparently. So yeah, these are going further down into Lower Egypt. Massive temples and complexes. Debu, I've never even heard of. Yeah, these people are actually moving and still in focus, more or less, which is brilliant for 1860s photographs. That one's got an obelisk between two massive walls. I wonder what put the holes in them. So something was fitted in here, wasn't it? Oh, I'd love to know their original structure. This is all this mud brick stuff. Is someone else, isn't it? These are not these. wonder what that is. Well, they've put pots in the wall with holes. Now, I can guess that that is for backfill. I guess. But they built a whole wall with them. Maybe it was an early kind of air conditioning or something. Or is that the hypercost? No, hypercost would be horizontal. Birds. Oh, they could be dove coops. Ethereal seer. They could be dove coops. There was a lot of them in antiquity. Thank you for that. Well, look at this massive ruined mosque. There's a shit ton of people sitting outside. No infrastructure per se. You've got ghosts everywhere, so that would be the exposure problem of 20 seconds or so, or 30 seconds of photograph. There's something missing in there. You can see that it was something plugged in there. Again, we're bricking up the walls and the windows. There's damage here as well. What the fuck is happening? What's underneath that? Well, it looks like loads of doors. I'm not so sure, but what is underneath that is very curious, because this is the floor level. And for some reason, everything else is way down on the ground. And there's a door, a door, a door, a door, a door, a door. What the hell is going on? Are these just shacks built up? Yeah, they could be. Yeah, they could be. Just shacks built up to the church for its vibration. They did that in Rome as well. I've seen that. Yeah, it is. Okay, case solved. Canton. Windows all blown out. Yeah, from blast. Maybe that's why they bricked them up then, not window taxes, because they were expecting, don't stand in front of your window if there's a blast wave. Yeah. So pyramid complexes. So if there was all of that stuff underneath, that would be the same for all pyramids worldwide, including China and Americas as well. So Colossus, which is a giant, obviously. And you get a lot of Egyptian giants. These ones are just wrecked. In fact, the coating's gone off them. And the only way I can explain this, I don't know if you can see me, I got a big, massive laser gun, okay? And it's like a flamethrower with lasers, right? And I've just gone, oh, fucking hell, I don't like the look of him. And burned its face off. That's what looks like's happened here. How come all of this is not burnt and scratched and scorched, but the top bit is burnt and scratched and scorched? Something's hit that, like heat. That one's taken a belt in too, but this one is bubbled, like literally. It's burnt face, man. It's burnt face, man. Burnt face, man. Scary stuff. So did they have a war? I'm going to have to look up the historical narrative. Soylent Green, what's normal? Bloody hell, I'm going to have to look up the official narrative for what happened in 1860s in Egypt, because the whole place looks wrecked and like it's had a big war and stuff. Like, look at this castle. Why are the battlements all cracked? Obviously, this and blocked up windows again. Obviously, this isn't Egyptian, it's more medieval, isn't it? It's just like they discovered a world in these photographs. Look at this, guys. Nothing. Just this older world. These graves. They look like Ark of the Covenant. There's loads of them, and they got a rod on one side and a rod on the other. Are they graves? You don't bury people on top in the desert, so they're not. Do you? Oh, I'm confused. Anyway. Well, thank you for helping me think, everybody. Massive walls on their big mosque, and everything else is a goner. I wonder what the narrative is for that disappearing from the face of the earth then. Yeah, going to earn a few quid off this, he's thinking. How can you earn money off this? Well, we'll tart it up a bit. This looks like the Temple of Hathor or something. Well, it's Hathor on the wall there. We're going to tart it up a bit. And we'll fly people over on a special holiday to go and look at these things that were built by people we don't know nothing about, that are long gone. Because obviously the Egyptians today, you know, like they're all like George Nori. He's an Egyptian, half Egyptian. So imagine a country full of George Noris did not build all this. Okay? Or Hawises. There you are. There's a better one. Professor Hawis. Okay? We're big fans of him. Is this burned? Flat of bread. This looks burned. In fact, that all looks burnt. Anybody? Does it look burnt? Anybody? Am I tripping? They founded it at JT. Massive stones. You could say that again. Why put a dome up on the roof? It's weird, that is, with the doors going in. You ever see Only Fools and Horses when they built a nuclear power station? A nuclear fallout shelter on the roof of a tower block. Not the best move you could ever make. Yeah, I bet they're wondering what's going on as well. And these places were thought of being remote, weren't they? You know, out in the desert, go down the Nile on a boat, stop in a new place every single night, and find these massive temple complexes built by, one can only wonder, and wonder how long ago. Look at the size of these lintels. You can't tell me that you know, primitive man with rollers and pulleys put this up there. Look at it, and all of them. And there's too much evidence of machining anyway. But everything outside is gone, isn't it? So hi Skinflint, hi everybody. So yeah, something battered all of this as well and cracked it, didn't it? Bit earthquakey as well, isn't it? These things falling over. It looks earthquakey. Wow, look at that. Wow, that's trippy. Imagine I'm just trying to imagine the force that did this. This is not entropy. Something hit this obelisk over, guys. And that one there's got a chunk missing out. Am I right to say that? Ah. Oh, were they made of wood originally, I wonder? Look at that. How did that even fucking happen? Think. Nope. Some of this is showing evidence of like heat, plasma, and then it's had an earthquake because things are cracked and all of the columns are gone. Wait, all right, then you are. So all of them massive columns in this temple, they are where? They crumbled and fell into all of this. Where? Maybe somebody took it all away, rebuilt something else with it. I don't know. That is nuts. That is nuts. Okay. There's that messed up city outside Cairo again with no people. Yeah, this mosque thing here, this beautiful building here is derelict, or it's all ruins. But the mosque in the background, poof, don't think that is. Okay, so all of that caper is supposed to be under this one. I don't know if they're saying these long piles are under these ones too. Are they saying it's all under this plateau? See, if that was the case, you know, the Egyptian government should just cough up money and just say, no, let's dig this up, see what we got, is it? Isn't it? And the Sphinx is being a bit exposed at this period, you can see at the back. In the 1890s, this will be exposed. They say there's water damage around it, that all of this area would have been in the water, which is probably true. Wonder why they have wires coming out of there. I don't think that's just for lightning conductivity. Not with this strange caper going on. See these 3 holes? Again, it looks like something's plugged in there and in there. It really is. It's like if a ship comes. You know how you had like planes and they refuel in the air? That's what I imagine for these. It's just airships or whatever coming in, plugging in, recharging. Off they go. That's the way I see it in my mind. Okay, that's really big stones compared to him, look. And all covered in information. That's something we don't do with stones in the modern days, cover it with information. Just write the odd word here and there. Usually bullshit. But obelisks. Definitely a big part of this, aren't they? And they reach up high into the sky like church spires. I think they're energy gathering technologies. Okay. See, these are pyramids. That's a pyramid. Get down to Lower Egypt and the Sudan. It's got loads of them. Look at it. Know what happened to that then? That one looks different shape, but that's a pyramid. They're all over the world, hidden. Sidbury in Britain. I reckon I got one close by. I reckon there's pyramids all over Britain. Glastonbury Tour. I think that's a pyramid under that. It looks like a pyramid. It steps up like a pyramid. So yeah, I can read hieroglyphics. I got a book over there. It's not as difficult as you imagine. It takes you 10 minutes to read hieroglyphics. I'll learn it. And the ever decreasing stepping up nesting technology on all these pyramids. This one's just stone. So imagine what's inside them. I'm sure thieves and treasure hunters have been in all of these pyramids, but I bet there's some that they haven't. Go right underground, protected, full of treasure. We all have treasure hunts, don't we? I do. I see how many sunken ships are around Britain, all full of gold, ready. But I can't dive. What? I haven't said that. At least it's smiling. But what a mess. They've dug that out to see what it said. It's like Tomb Raider. It's like Tomb Raider. Let's find the secret code for the treasure hunt. Strange, the tops of these columns. They look like drums or something. So it's all part of the design, isn't it? Is this in Karnak? I'm not sure. But all of it just fell in. Can you imagine that fateful day? All of the columns falling and sky falling in and lightning and thunder and earthquake, and they'd be going, "Oh, sorry, God, I didn't mean to do it." And he'd be like, "I told you before, I ain't listening. You've been bugging me for the last God knows how many years." I don't know how many years we can actually live when we find out. Sold half-lives, 80, 70 years. And by the time you get your shit together at 60s and know what things are and how this place works, then you're all like, you know, you ain't got that many years left. That's shit. You should have, like, the information and the sort of knowledge you get by the time you're middle-aged. You should be available for that in your 20s. And if you did have that in your 20s, by the time you got to your 60s, fuck me, sky's the limit. Like limitless possibilities. But it's just not set up that way, is it? The body, the humans, it's all to do with experience, isn't it? We have to get there. Okay, I'm going to come back and see how you're all doing. Give you a few of your shouts. I've got loads of information to come. Okay. 700, nearly 800 of you. Could you share this out? It is a funny place, brother. Marginal gloss. It's a bloody funny place. I've noticed that, funny enough. Queen Ravana, good to see you. Rumbling swimming pools. Yes, I seen that. Them pools, they look really weird, didn't they? Them people with swimming pools jumping around in an earthquake. It's quite a big one, isn't it? 7.4. It's crazy jumps with earthquakes. When they go up from that, it's like 20 times as big. So it's crazy. Lane Matrix. Ye Lord God of Destruction. Yeah, there's a lot of people bugging God. You get that a lot, God botherers. They're just like, God, why me? Oh, I thought you loved me. On and on and on. And he's like, all fucking day long, all they do is moan to me. I notice they never come to me when it's all going swimmingly. It's like, yeah, thanks God, this is all amazing. No, only when they're on the want, I've noticed. So, all the God botherers bothering God all the time, saying sorry and bugging him all the time. He ain't bothered. I mean, literally, he ain't bothered. He's not listening anymore. He's like, that's on you. That's what he's doing. That's on you. Have Bliss, what's up? The fire wall got penetrated and the realm got a virus. I started watching 2 hours of last night, an old 70s series from British television called Sapphire and Steel with Joanna Cumley and David McCallum, who was acting way too serious in it. Anyway, it was a really good series, and basically they're like TVA, they're time cops. Basically, what happens is where the veil is thin between realities in old buildings, they say, things bust through from the other realm, which is time. And some of them really suck. Yeah, and they bust through in, yeah. And Sapphire and Steel, which were two of the elements, there was 120 odd of them, had to go and sort it out. Really good series. I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially the Joanna Cumley bits. It's on YouTube. Check it out. I love time traveling stuff. Well, this is more than time traveling. This is like that Loki program that was out, but like 40 years ago. So I think Loki was maybe nicking their shit. Beans on toast. Stu, good to see you. How come you're in your bathroom? This is my church. This is my church. This is where I heal my heels. Yeah. The Pope's back out of hospital. It's good news, isn't it? Apparently the first words he said were, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Everyone was like, he's back. Zach, good to see you. Tom, sure, good to see you. Mr. Man, right? Rhyme is fake. Fake is fake, bro. Our time is fake. Yeah, I know it is. It's a construct. Trick us up. Truth. Brick Truth, good to see you. Yeah. Throw a brick and say, there's truth. Missy, so far, you're an amazing show. I've got quite a bit to go. Yeah, thank you, Missy. Estelle Holmes. So, yeah, I've got videos to go up. As I said, I've got to vet them and think about things and that. But they are really juicy. Really juicy. It's just like Britain's gone double mental. You're not really, if you're not here, you don't know. But if you are here, you can know exactly what I'm on about. LFX Ad, man. Good to see you, Ad. Life for real. What, as in like really real this time? This is life, guys. It's real. I mean, really real. You know what I'm saying? It's really real. I just want to know the truth. Well, Annie, you'll get to know the truth, but first you have to die. That might be true. I don't know. I doubt it. I'm not going to wait that long anyway. I'm with you. Annie, to the truth and beyond. Let's just smash it. Rain Girl, what's normal? Does it really have to look into that? Okay, sorry. She talked what's normal. Okay, there's Marty in the house. What's that? Fuzzy hugs. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Obligatory fuzzy hugs. If you don't know about this, this is a new genre on YouTube. It's not very popular. It's called winning through love. Okay, we're not going to be beaten, bullied into being shitties. Okay, we're going to stay on the epic level of epicness. And if the world is not really doing that well, that doesn't really matter because we're on a party. There's a party going on around here. To last throughout the year, just bring your good times and your laughter too. Here is Cheryl in the room. We gotta celebrate. wonder what good karaoke song would be good for me to sing. Radiohead be really difficult. You are beyond this place. What are you trying to say? I know you. I know Rain Girl, lovely. I know that. I know that. I know things. Cheers, Nora. I've seen that Sapphire and Steel. It is bloody good, Nora. I tell you what, it's really good. It was well made too for British television. Romanian Bear, good to see my brother. Cool in the gang. Oh, they were really good, weren't they? Martin Olsen. Brick Truth. That's our theme tune for today's celebration, okay? Because everywhere else sucks so bad. We're just going to be actually. No, I'm not going to be like that. I want to be. Fuck it. Sapphire and Gold. Yeah, they had Lead in there. He was a bit black bloke. He was really funny. But they have other time cops turning up too. Play some CCR. Ooh, I love a bit of CCR, mate. Don't worry about that. They're playing here in April. I haven't got a ticket because I don't know if I can go. Atlantean Truth, good to see you. Martin in the area. Yeah. Soda's horrible. Just don't pour it down your nose, innit? Corrine. Okay. And Lisa Bayliss. I know a family of Baylisses, Lisa. I wonder if you're related to them. I doubt it. You're not in Cardiff, are you? Okay, back to presenting. Now, what we're going to look at now is a load of photographs of... First, I'm going to share my... Because the time's getting on, my images of the week, and then we'll get on with other stuff then, okay? Because we are almost 2 hours in. Jesus H. I won't say that. Jesus H. Christ, I can't even believe the time flies on this channel. Every week, it's like 3 hours. It's like 10 minutes here. It's just nuts. Okay, you got this? These are good pictures, these are. This one here, this building here, really gets me. It's called... Did I find my microphone? Some girls do, some girls don't. Some girls need a lot of love, you know. The Royal Panapion. The Royal Panapion, like Pan, Napion. And it was in Leicester Square, or is in Leicester Square in London. And it's a Moorish-style theatre. It was built in 1854 for the Scientific Exposition, which they had there. And in the modern day, it's called the Alhambra. So dig, it's in London, it's Moorish, and today it's called the Alhambra, a very Arabic name, in Leicester Square. Wonder why that is. This is in Delhi. I talked a little bit about Delhi this week. I did a little post showing an empty Delhi after the rebellion, and this wall at Fort Delhi, for want for a better word, the Red Fort. This is interesting. I got this picture on my wall. This makes me think about the realm we live in, and this is why. I don't know what it says because it's in a foreign language. It looks pretty Russian. So imagine, right, this experiment, this is what this is you got your house, you're born into a block of flats, and your block of flats is on this shelf. It has a lift that goes down onto the main floor. You see this thing in the sky every day that you presume is the sun, and you meet other people. And in this room, okay, is your universe, because nobody told you about outside the room. So you had no frame of reference for what is outside the room. This, and not even any need to question it, guys. Maybe you'll, like a mouse, test to see if it's safe, structural integrity, you know, like mammals do. But outside of that, you wouldn't question what was outside of your cube. You would live your life thinking this sun was just what they told you. Well, that's the sun. What about them lights? They're the stars, when really they're just light bulbs. Wouldn't that be an interesting experiment to do on a race of peoples? So in 1680, Cometo in 1681, and Iraq at the time. As you can see, comets coming from this direction, that direction, this direction. And these comets, they just don't fly over like Halley's Comet, minding its own thing. And look at this one, looks like a bird or a phoenix, doesn't it? This whole world gets completely smashed to shit. By comets. I said the comet. Watch out for comets. If comet comes, start breaking up your windows. Nah, don't start breaking up your windows. I don't mean that. So okay, we got a mud-filled street in what looks like old India, which it is. People living out of the sun. Look at this old. They don't need anything really, do they? People, I mean. We think we need stuff, but we don't really. What you need food, you need water, you need shelter. Some people need to reproduce. You need maybe company. You just go walk out all day and get company. So we don't really need possessions, do we? And you come in the world with nothing, and you die and don't take nothing with you. You know, possessions possess you, don't they? You need things like tables, chairs, and stuff. But I mean, we don't really need the stuff we got. We've got everything we need. As long as your kids are healthy, you're healthy. And, you know, I know we're all being crushed by, people in Britain are being crushed by debt and tax, but that won't last. I can tell you now that there's a whole new paradigm coming very shortly. They're blocking up windows here and bricking them up. And then they put vents in. They haven't got air conditioning this period. There's definitely a big change coming. So this guy here, it says here, is a king. And they cut off his thumbs because he was wiggling them, because he was a crazy wiggly fat thumbist. And his great toe, which is great toe is called a big toe. It is apparently a big toe. 70 kings having their thumbs and their great toes cut off, gathered their meat. So a load of kings. So they were pursued, and then they had their. This is what the meaning of defeated is, isn't it? He got defeated. So yeah, kings had their toes cut off, and what do they do with the meat? Richmond sausages, of course. I love this. It's an oldie but goodie. Our muffins are moist and sticky, just like Fanny's. I'm not sure if that would even be allowed in the modern day. But it's quite innocent in the American way, isn't it? And Fanny's completely different. In Britain, there's something else, let me tell you. Oh, electroplating the dead. Do you think there is any need to electroplate the dead? Maybe. I would be electroplated. So this doctor here, a surgeon, major hospital in Paris, developed a method covering the human body of a deceased person in a layer of metal in order to preserve it for eternity. Awesome. So, yeah. Brilliant red copper finish. Fucking awesome. So yeah, electroplate me, baby. Can it be done? So I don't understand the laws in Britain. There's Harry Enfield on YouTube, and there's like the Pickaboo thing. Isn't she probably pretty? Now, if I went and done a sketch of that, I'd be in shit. I don't understand how it's. Don't even go there. Doesn't matter. Can it be done? Okay, so they're saying in years to come in this advert, television, newspapers will be on a screen. They're tripping. So electric treatment free. This is good. Okay, so basically, you can cure your bad back. I've got a Thames machine, and when my pain gets too bad, I plug it on sometimes, and that does help. So electric does help cure you. Helps rheumatism, arthritis, all sorts actually. It's probably better than some of the things they give you these days. So World War II's best kept secret. Adolf Hitler was a woman. No shock there, I'm guessing, amongst the audience. And it's got a pretty little frock on there. Suits him proper as well. What other stories we got? Trucker flips over real-life mermaid. Aliens caught on TV. Happened to my missus. She got turned into a toffee crisp by aliens. So I ate her. Oh, yeah. I became a porn star to pay for my mum's facelift. Proper order. Gay aliens found in UFO wreck. They died in their last loving embrace. Fancy a bun. So look at this girl's face. She's not impressed with these. What rolls into town is the Wild West show, or a fair. A fair comes to town, right? And it's got flesh, like naked flesh. Now, honest to God, guys, in the past, things were different to they are now. We never had OnlyFans when I was a kid, yeah? I mean, a visible panty line would keep you going for at least a month. I mean, things were completely different. This year, right, I know when I was 16 walking around Soho in London with my friend Paul, just getting into trouble in London. And they were all prostitutes standing outside the door. And they were smiling at me and waving. I was going, hi. I was like, she fucking fancies me, Paul. It's like, Matt, she fancies anyone with money. It's like, all right, I get, all right. What, you mean anyone? It's like, anyone, man. It's like, fucking hell. So counting up my 2p's. Didn't have enough. Spent all my money on Thunderbirds and Tomazis. So was the nature of the 80s. So, naked bodies, adults only, okay, real flesh and striptease. The girl's not very impressed. So maybe, this is a cunning business model. I'll have to wait till I'm older. And, yeah, we have an astrolabe. Dante here looks like a fucking demon for some reason. Dante out of Dante's Inferno. But what we got here is an astrolabe being used in America. And what's that? Is that the Southern Cross? It must be in South America, maybe. I don't know what it is. So radium versus grey hair. Okay, where can I buy bottled radium? Because I'm getting grey as fuck. And you won't die. Oh, not to die. Isn't it funny how die is the same word as die? I wonder if there's anything in there. So carborundum is not a dye. All right. Radium. Carborundum. Like carborundum stones. You can rub on your feet for getting tough skin down. You can do that, can't you? Carborundum stones. Yeah? Hiya, Eric. Eric the Healer Resident. Good to see you, mate. When I lived 8 years by the ocean in Santa Monica, there was a big storm and a dead mermaid washed up on the shore. Oh, did it? They wash up on the shore, sure, mate. Yes. I love mermaids myself. So I'm not sure what this is, but apparently there's a big city going to descend from the sky. And this guy's looking out of a portal in the sky. And I want to take me to your dealer. Where are the titties? I want literally a surrender the first day. Oh, there will be more. What the world will be like in 100 years. This says in 1922. Okay, let's see if they got it right. And the people of the year 1922 will probably never see a wire outlined against the sky. Well, that's not necessarily true. It's particularly certain that wireless telegraph and wireless telephones will have crushed the cable system long before the century is done. Yes, possibly too. Power may travel through the air by means are found to prevent enormous voltages being suddenly discharged in the wrong place. So like giant bursts of electric within the system, a bit like the overload that reset antiquity when Antiquitech went bad. Ta-da! Right, let's have a look at these. The extremes meet civilized and savage watching a life-saving in the exposition in France in 1904. Okay, so we have some savages here, guys. Some savages alongside civilized people. I'm guessing the civilized people are the umbrellaed people. And the other people here with sticks. Somebody stuck a hat on him. It's cute. It's very derogative. See, to my mind, you see, guys, all of this advanced civilization that was there, it's not primarily in Europe. Okay, I think that Africa was brimming with juicy stuff, like palaces and everything. before something really bad happened to it. And they were not savages back then. They were kings with riches and all of that. They're only savages because we made them that way by nicking all their shit and slaving them. So use a cannonade Pacifique. And what it is organ technology. You shoot them shit off there, it's going to make it rain. So they got it in before Wilhelm Reich. As one of Wilhelm Reich's sort of a cloudbuster in France. And people just had organ devices just outside their houses, like they do in the modern day in the past, to make it rain in dry periods. So Nikola Tesla's experiments, if they're to be believed, he wanted a giant eye to see around the world. So what exactly does he mean by a giant eye, guys? An eye like Sauron's eye? Well, that wouldn't work on a globe. It'd work on a flat plane. Maybe if it had amazing magnification that could go through all of the obstacles that are in the atmosphere, like bugs and water molecules and that. So it's not really possible. Anyway, how Nikola Tesla's newest invention is to enable us to see the struggles of the Arctic explorer and the clash of battles and the fantastic lives of unknown millions. So by spying on everybody. Australia, I thought London was pretty bad with the old CCTV and Cardiff and that. I seen Australia, you got it really bad. So James Bond girl was a boy. Topless Tula hides a sex change. So this came out in the paper back in the day. They don't mind chucking people on a fire, but look at the old chin on that. Oh, Roger Ramjet. God, we didn't have to get conned as young men past, didn't we? Jesus Christ. We didn't even know, did we? It's like, oh, God, look at the bum on that. We were like us men. And then it finds out, like, years later, it was men. I'm supposed to... Get me optics. Let me clean my eyes. The New York Times talked about a Norwegian. Now, I have posted about this maybe 7-8 years ago. So a Norwegian balloon, okay, Norwegian safe in Alaska after its 71-hour flight, forced down by fog and ice, okay. The Formingi-on ship, I don't know what that means, crossed the North Pole, found no new land. Hang on. So it was looking for new land. But it didn't see it because it was forced down with the fog and ice. No, let me just tell you what happened there, right? You went looking for new land, but you couldn't see anything because there was fog and there was ice. Forming on ship. Oh, right. Forming. Okay, now they put the two words too close together on for me. So forming on ship. Okay. So, yeah, there's two contradictions there. They were looking for land in the North Pole, even in recent times. So can we believe the press? Well, a lot of them said, oh, there was loads died, thousands on the Titanic. Yeah, there's loads of newspaper articles, all life saved on the Titanic. Yeah, probably on the Titanic, but not on his sister ship, the Olympic, eh? I'm just saying. Why just the big deal about the Titanic? They didn't go on about the Mauritania or the Lusitania, so like all the time, about all them lives lost to start wars, for fuck's sake, did they? Why this one? Why is it so important? Is it because it was the first ever ship to use telegraph? To call an emergency? Rescue? SOS? Probably, I don't know. So, check these out. And these are in the Low Countries. Ladders going up the top. They're fitting something out on these, aren't they? Cool. So this is interesting. Back to what I was talking about my last post with Sharon Tate. Interesting that somebody has made an article saying, and I said this as well. I found this recently. Girl, bizarre confession links slaying with the real Rosemary's Baby, Hippie Coke killed Sharon Tate to prevent her birth of Satan's child, and she was the real Rosemary's Baby, and he made the film about her, and then she was murdered, and her blood wiped pigs on the wall. I don't know why. I just get an element of I think there's something in it. There's something in it. That Sharon Tate was something else, wasn't she? So there's something going on there. I don't know. It's just these court cases. They're like literally so many of them ongoing. So I make time to look at some of them. So here's a monk. He's looking at his reflection, knowing it's a reflected realm in a highly polished wall from antiquity. Nobody knows how it's been done. This is interesting. This is in Venezuela. It's an old ship's hold from an old tanker, and they've made stalls in it, and they've made a stage in it, and they're reacting King Lear, Shakespeare's King Lear, in this ship's hold. Now, I thought of that. I thought they would ship's hold, empty holds, make awesome raves and nightclubs, definitely. Looks like a Jedi striker. So this is Dresden before, unfortunately, it got demolished. I'm wondering why the big, massive bridge when there's only people and a tram, no horse and carties hardly, maybe one or two, but you're getting movement in this picture. Not sure what's happening here, maybe just cargo off the barges, but the architectural delight that got completely melted, unfortunately, in World War II. Dresden. This is the building of Piccadilly Underground in London, and they kept the trams up in the air, and they just hollowed underneath. There's all walls going down there, though. All of that underneath London. The underground. I'd have shit myself on that. I'd have thought, my God, this is bloody dangerous. What we go through? Check this out, guys. This is an Indian fort as well. I think this is in Rajasthan. And I think I seen John Levy post about this. I think he said there was something like 10 million bricks put in it or something stupid. These bricks, I think it's this one. But look at this, guys. This bit on here, I reckon, is the other bit is different, isn't it? But wow, trying to take that over, that is literally Armageddon proof, isn't it? It's mad, isn't it? Perfectly imperfect circuit board. So I posted this. This is a picture of Calcutta in the late 1800s. There's something going on here. Although in the background you can see the masts, what looks like of ships, but this is Calcutta. So I'm guessing they're pyramids or just buildings, turrets, aerials. I'm unsure. All of that civilization looks exactly like the Great Expositions. Romanesque arch going through, and there is just bits of rubble. The grass is being sprinkled, and there are tents outside. Zero population. Somebody's been walking across here. Designated path, I noticed, across the field to here to cross through into here. But you can't see any people in this picture. Who are the tents? And where are the people? Is this another set? You know, the founders are coming, they put into tents, and then they basically get these cities, find these cities. It's just craziness how many of these pictures are like it. This is in the Sudan. And I don't know how many of these have been excavated, guys. They're just masses of pyramids smashed in Sudan as well. It's mad, isn't it? I need to drink. So we have almost 800 of you watching. Could you do me a solid and just share this out, guys? Get some more people over. I'm going to be going for a little bit longer. We're 2 hours in with quite a bit of information to still come. I got stacks and stacks to come, actually. It's just the time aspect. I don't want to do 4-hour vlog. I'm not actually sure what this is. It's just, I think it might have been something to do with water. I'm not sure. There would have been a moat in here. Door going in. Just a strange sort of keep. Strange sort of keep. Don't know. This is in Anatolia, but I noticed that they're the Phoenician heads that we know and see. I've seen this 100 times. It's a wall full of the Phoenician family, and they're all recognizable. Bacchus, for example, Europa, for example, Fortuna, for example. They're all recognizable, and they have different faces that I'm now getting to recognize. Back to giants, Baalbek. That's the size of a human in Baalbek, and that is the size of Baalbek Temple. And it's got some of the biggest stones ever carved there, as you know, in Lebanon. There's like an obelisk that's incomplete. They didn't even get to finish it, didn't get to put it up. It's the biggest in the world. This is the biggest stuff in the world, and it is Babylonian because it is Phoenician, Corinthian tops. There's of the same gods, the Phoenician gods in Babylon. Check this. So some of these French buildings from the exposition are actually still there. That was from the exposition. These are modern people, guys. Look, this is part of the Paris exposition, which was built for temporary measure, which is still there today. Beautiful, isn't it? You know, it's been a lifetime since I've been to Paris. Don't think I'd like it anyway these days. More of the exposition in Paris. It's a completely different dome. Look at this dome. Let's have a look at this one. Wow, so beautiful. So temporary, apparently, according to the narrative. A lot of this is gone. Past 2 in the afternoon. And these are inside some of these auditoriums in the Paris exposition. So every single bit of the wall has been covered in an artwork. Every inch. You can see an Ottoman man, maybe. Yeah, some Ottomans looking at the stuff. And isn't it beautifully lit as well with that natural light and massive windows? All that effort just for a few years, and then a lot of it disappears. Just craziness. This is San Francisco City Hall before the earthquake that made this hollow. And it looks like well, I can't even believe how many of these are. So that looks like St. Paul's Cathedral, this bit here at the top, but it's got another layer, like wedding cake layer. It looks exactly like the Capitol building, but with another layer, or any Capitol building like Austin or Iowa, or any of the Capitol buildings, a couple of which I'll show you now. It's the same design worldwide. How can it be that it doesn't matter where you are in the world, it's the same design? This Rotunda building, I'll show you another version of that, but it won't be in San Francisco. It's going to be in Quebec, all sharing the same Rotunda design. Why is that? How is it possible? Because it's one civilization that built it on, which we think is Tartarian. And they're fly machines that just came in. This is in Zion, interesting name in Utah, isn't it? Interesting name. And there is, and when I read the caption for this, somebody said they'd actually been there. It's a bit like Sedona, but this looks like the size of something you see in Star Wars, where the Jedi TIE fighters just fly into the mountain. In Zion, isn't that an interesting name, Zion? Okay, this is a beautiful photograph. I'm not sure what is actually going on with this exceptionally early photograph of I actually posted this 2 days ago, which I've told you what city it is. There's something missing with it though. On the top of that dome, and there's an aerial as well. No people. No people. You can see it says furniture down there. Some of the roofs look German. And there's a massive building over there. Let me just find my piece of paper and see where that's from. Fucking hell. Can't find where I wrote it down. So this is an interesting one. This one is in South America, as you can see from the Uruguay or Uruguay. This is in Uruguay. I think its capital is Montevideo, isn't it? Another Montevideo. This is Montevideo. And it's the same style as everywhere else. It's Buckingham Bleeding Palace. And it's in, did you know Uruguay was the first country in the world in modern times to legalize cannabis? They've had it going on for ages. This picture here, right, was shown on Joe Rogan this week by Eddie Bravo. Showed Joe Rogan. Fucking hell. You've been in my photos, Eddie. Statue of Liberty, 1875. Painting of Lucifer, 7th. Yeah, it is alike, but we've already established long ago that it's chained, and it's a woman. So yeah, flame-proof telegraph poles. Oh, it's not going to burn. And the old Masonic hand thing going on here in the fire of Boston, Massachusetts. In Massachusetts. We are children of the world. Okay, and this is in India, obviously. Wow, I love these Vimana buildings. Makes you wonder why they designed it that way with a big speaker on top. It's like literally, did they just all had big ghetto blasters in the past? Is that what's going on? They're beatboxes. Right, let's have a look what's in this helmet's reflection. He's got big city reflection in his helmet. The artist, Van Eyck, thought to do that. Nice touch. I like that. Even the wart, nice touch. I wouldn't bother with the wart if I was an artist. Oh, Bellini, they're real. Look, we got a photograph of Bellini. I'm sure it's real. It looks real, doesn't it? Well, they say it's real, guys. I don't know. So this is weird. Look, state capital, okay, in the 1900s. And what you got here is a lovely little shack outside the state capitol building. It's a bit odd place, isn't it? You think they'd say, oh, it's beautiful, this palace. It's like a palace here, isn't it? Like, yeah. So what about that fucking shed in the grass outside? It's a bit of an eyesore, isn't it? So there's that. I might say where it is. I think it's New York. But again, you can see the Bacchus thing going on for a Keystone. Laughing away because he's so drunk on the wine. Drunken people suck. Look at that for a chunk of architecture. Notice the little tiny trees they put outside. Oh, fuck off. What's that? Excuse me, something just come up on my screen. So, yeah, this is in New York City. And it's a big chunk of a building, and it's a hotel as well. I think it's the Hotel New Amsterdam, but then it was the Amsterdam, which is there. I think this is when it was the, says there, the Ansonia, which does become the Amsterdam. But massive, just like the Dakota as well. Huge doors, it's like 4 separate buildings squashed into one. Imagine what's going on in there, man. Loads of machinery. Whew. Oh, I love Les Dawson. Saw 6 men kicking and punching the mother-in-law. My neighbour said, are you going to help? I said, nah, 6 should be enough. I love Les Dawson. Not that I condone any violence against mother-in-laws whatsoever. I'm sure they're wonderful. I've never had one really, but I'm sure they are wonderful. We all love our mother-in-laws and in-laws, don't we? They love us too, don't they? They're so glad that you married their daughter. every Christmas when you turn up. So they're not in. Yes, they are in. It's Christmas Eve. Knock harder. The lights are on. They're not answering, love. They are. They're in. They haven't answered. I think they've gone somewhere else. Like Hounslow visiting. We all like a bit of Hounslow, don't we? Of Hyacinth Bouquet. And I know you have Hyacinth Bouquet in America. Keeping up appearances. I know that. So this is what you're looking at here. It's Athens. Yeah. Covered in shit. I don't know what this mountain is. It's not Mount Olympus. This is Mount Olympus, where the gods ruled us from. They were like, here, down there. So this was inside. See this? Geometry, fountains. God knows what this is here, guys. And this was the exposition of science inside of said building in Leicester Square that is now the Alhambra, but it used to be the Panopean. The Panopean in London. It's got a fountain that went all the way up to the dome in that Moorish building that I showed you at the beginning. Man, they had some cool shit in the past. Whew. There it is. The Alhambra. It's a Muslim mosque type place, and it's in the centre of London in Leicester Square, where all of the movie premieres happen, which are going to be in the past. Nobody actually gives a shit about Hollywood anymore. Look at it. In the city of London. There it is. That's a better photograph. In Leicester Square, the Alhambra. That dome has got like all bristling with stuff on it, look. 2 minarets. And now it's a theatre. I can't even remember seeing the Alhambra. I wouldn't mind just doing a bit of tourism in London and taking some photographs of some more cool places. I haven't done that since I've been on YouTube. Every time I go to London, I post nothing. Oh, except for Speaker's Corner. Mind you, so very problematic. They're always having protests. They're super fucking annoying everywhere in the cities now, aren't they? They're all like, what about me? I'm a victim. Stop victimizing me. Fucking hell. Okay, these are interesting. This was the planisphere in New York's World Fair in 1939. And apparently you climbed up in this planisphere thing here, and you look down onto a civilization that is on a flat plane. A bit like they're telling us what this place is. It's under a dome, and there's a flat plane below, like that. Which would show you the World's Fair. And there was an obelisk to go along with it as well. I've actually got film of that. I think I probably could be able to show that in the future, because it's like all black, all color film from the 1940s, and they don't know the owner, so I wouldn't get copyrighted on it. I've used it before. It's good. So look at this in a church. I think this one's in Venezuela. St. Marco or something like along those lines. To write it down. Write everything down. And it is the fall. The fall of the angels fall, the fallen angels. So it's I was gonna say Jesus, the other one, escaping heaven. He's like, God, let's get the fuck out of here. I noticed he nicked the fasces. Yeah, and he's like, my God, that was so controlling. It's like I've been in a really bad relationship for years. So I know it's great to be free, isn't it? So it's all right down here, isn't it? It's like, yeah, well, what is that over there? It's called a Wendy's. Wendy's. I like the sound of that. What does it do? I don't know. Let's go in there and find out. Can I help you, sir? Are those wings? Yes, we're fallen angels. We've just arrived from heaven. Oh, nice. Take a seat. Do you want to try some of our apple pie? Apple pie. Yeah, yes. Yes, please. As you can see, the first arrival of Lucifer and his angels on earth was not all that bad. Was not all that bad. Apple pie and custard. Squirty cream. So what we're looking at here, if you're probably wondering, let me go back. History lesson. Sorry, I went vacant. I went off on one there. So probably none of that was true. I don't know if the fallen angels went to Wendy's, guys. It might have been a steakhouse. I don't know. I wasn't there. This street here is in Cardiff. It's called Duke Street. And before my lifetime, they knocked every single one of these buildings down here on the one side. All of this street here, you can see, not the other side, that's still there. All this side, they demolished to make a new lawn for the front of Cardiff Castle. There. I just had a penny drop. I got photographs of this wall completed in the 1880s by William Burgess and all of the palaces, etc., of Cardiff Castle. And it's already a green outside and a fence. Yeah, later year, in the age of the motor car, they're clearing Duke's. Right, I'm going to have to look at that as soon as I get off this vlog, because that's just fucked my head up. That's not possible. That's two different timelines. Wow. So what I'm saying is this photo here shouldn't exist. Because Duke Street was knocked down, fucking hell, 1903. Yeah, I got 18. I got to look into my photographs. What's this? What? They got vandalism. Oh, look at what happened to ancient Rome. Dream until it's your reality. Well, that's good advice. Love. See, if this was Britain, we'd have squirty penises, but they don't do that in tagging in America. Standard in Britain. Standard jugs and willies. I don't know why, guys. It's just normal. First thing you draw when you're a child is titties, big nipples. So it looks like the whole world, even the classical world, has been tagged and is gone to shit as well. But they seem all right. They're happy. They don't even notice. People don't when they live in it. I don't like urban graffiti. I don't like rubbish, litter, dog shit, running on. This is us in the future, sitting out, getting a nice natural tan off the mushrooms that are sprouting. But it's okay because they don't exist, so that won't happen. Nice lampposts they got in Amsterdam. This is on the dam rack. This lady here, yeah, I don't know if anything bad happened, but she looks like she's in a bit of a hurry, like she's asking for help. Help! Help! It's like, I can't, I'm in 2025. I'd love to be able to help you. In the Van Gen Loose. But yeah, nice lamppost. Nice lamppost. This is in the dam rack before the square was there. Apparently, before the dam rack, they had a lake with little islands in it. In the centre of Amsterdam dam rack. See, I can't get my head around that. And there's Amsterdam in its heyday. Beautiful. Love Amsterdam. Rotterdam's my favourite, though. It's a much better city. It got wires coming off it, but really flashy telegraph poles. Yeah. Let's have a look at Amsterdam. So, there's not too many people around. A few ghosts, though. So. Panorama of Amsterdam. They're all mud flooders, isn't they? These Dutch houses. Wonder what them things are for. There's no advertising on them ever. Yeah, there's just like all canals that go round and round in circles. We lost the car once on Kaiserstracht. Fucking hell. I don't know how we managed to lose the car, but we did. Again. But an American taxi driver drove us straight to it. He was in a Cadillac in fucking Amsterdam. He's like, what, can I help you? Blonde hair, big handlebar moustache. He was so eccentric, looked like Salvador Dali. He said, yeah, we lost our car. He said, where by? He said, next to water, somewhere by Kaiserstracht. And he just drove us straight to it. It was a Peugeot, little Peugeot, my friend had. Anyway, it was a long story. Got in trouble that trip. Well, you could call it trouble. Other people would. So this has been all over Europe this week. It looks exactly like that one that was in America last year, and they said it was SpaceX, didn't they? It looks like a Triskelion, doesn't it? One Triskelion, and it is a spiral, and they have been spotted. I can't verify whether it's real. It looks a bit shit to me, and I'm not there. But there are being reported by a lot of people. Sky phenomena in Europe this week. That's showing. This little guy, he's a little mouse. I got a little mouse, and do you know what mice? Yeah, they got little hands and little feet. Did you know that? Was that cute or what? They haven't got paws. They got little hands. Do you know what this is? This is Buckingham Palace. It had a full refit in 1913, the year before the First World War. So a year later, there'd be the Great War. And before then, it's all covered in scaffolding and having a tartar. The lost art of foot flirting. Footsie. Now, you've got to be careful with footsie, guys. If you're in a restaurant, and you want to rub your girl's leg under the table and give it a bit of a winky, like, "Hey, love," under the table, you want to make sure it's her leg you're rubbing. Because that could go really bad. You could end up rubbing the guy who sat next to her, and he's looking over you and going, "Hello." What are you fucking looking at me for? You've got to be careful with the old footsie, guys. It can go wrong. Although it's very nice, it can go wrong. I'm not saying that's happened to me. I'm just saying footsie can go wrong. Anyway, to be German. How did they ever lose the war with all of this lovely stuff? They got green hats. And they have Umpa, stick it up your jumper, bands, Lederhosen, thigh slapping, and big buxom beer bringing ladies, whatever they're called. Ladies that bring beer ladies. Called Olga. Olga and Gretchen. Okay, this is SpaceX. Okay, do you believe it? I don't know whether to believe it, but the answer they're trying to say on this squatter man, plasma apocalypse. Okay, and it's been shown on Triskelions and spirals all over antiquity, and it matches the one in the sky. And he's saying, is it the Blue Kachina? No, the Blue Kachina is a comet. Plasma apocalypse. Possibly. That stuff happens. Right, what's happening in the medieval period? Don't have birds in the house for a start off, because they shit everywhere and they do not shut the fuck up. So let's try and get a picture of what's going on here. So he's laying in bed, he's naked, she's come in, blonde lady, fully dressed. Can I help you, sir? So maybe. I don't know what's going on. Maybe nothing in it. Just, it's not what it looks like. Yeah, right. They always say that, not what it looks like. This is crazy. Can you see this? These are Tram Cemetery, apparently outside of San Francisco. Looks like they're in the sand on the beach, doesn't it? It's where they dumped them. Old trippy trams. What a weird thing to photograph. And out in sand dunes as well. There's a lot of sand dunes around San Francisco. Look at this old Tartarian building in America land. Where's this one? The residence of W&M Lent Esquire. Lent. Beautiful style, these, isn't they? All fitted with antiquitech and these towers. I'd love them round rooms. Imagine sitting in one of those round rooms in a nice chair all the way around, seeing the sky all the way around, a nice light, and reading a book or something. I think the internet's going to go down. I think it's going to go down for a little period to shit the whole human race up because everyone will be fucked. Imagine all of the millennials without their phone. What the fuck are they going to do? They don't know how to do anything. We're lucky because it's only been like, for me, like 40 odd years of free of a device. And I was always keeping myself busy, doing stuff, building stuff, making stuff. I just had 1,000 things to interest me. People now, if their phone goes down, it's like, oh my God, am I going to complete this game? Oh my God, what am I going to do? So I think it would be a big shock to the system, is what I think. Interesting little picture of the Capitol building here, isn't it? It looks completely different, doesn't it? And what is all of that shit all the way up the side there? Maybe they just covered it over with all road. Anyway. Well, we can get San Francisco built back. So a lot of questions about San Francisco being burned to the ground. And then in 9 years, rising back up and having the biggest exposition in the world. Okay. Pan Pacific Exposition. Here's one of the skyscrapers coming back to life. But all of this stuff is already there. So all of this got built new, did it, after the earthquake, fire, or whatever it was. Everyone. Okay. Every building you see there has been built back recently. Weird. This is in Turkey. I don't know what it is. They don't know what it is. I got a narrative for it. It's apparently an ancient god, and it's in a cliff face. There it is there. It is the Mount, I can't pronounce it. I thought it said Syphilis, but it's Sepulus. Mount Sepulus. This giant statue is in, and it's there in the modern day, but it's very worn in the modern day. There it is in the past. A giant, and it looks like it's holding something as well. Look at this thing. They always get me, these things. They're weird. Chamber cut into the rock mount of Syphilis, where that statue is, and there's a door going into what exactly? A portal. Crazy, isn't it? There is a photograph of it in the modern day, this statue at Cyphus. And it's a bit messed up in that photograph. Some of them look like it's holding maybe an infant. I'm not sure. It looks like it's holding something here. See, there's something in its arm here. This is its arm, its face, and it's got something here next to it, I would say. I'd love to know what the face looked like, though. But it's so old, and it's a giant, and it's in a cliff. And there is in the modern day. You can't see much of it. I think it's a female, though. They say it is. Kibrel Burkitt and Manis, JS, so vandalism. That's a Brooklyn Bridge. Oh, that's a beautiful little photograph of the, look at that Tartarian building there in New York on Brooklyn side. Beautiful, isn't it? Ding, 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 ding. This is the Westminster Hospital. I think they knocked it down. I'm not sure if this is still there, but it's in London, was in London. But look at the size of that building, Westminster. And look at that tower. That tower there was the biggest tower in the world for a while. So they say. Or outside conduit as well. It's part of the circuit board thing. Look at the size of that for a complex, so guys. Westminster. And this is in a German city, by the look of it. It could be Dutch. Not sure which one it is, to be honest with you. If I was hazard to guess, I would say Munich. Is that Raisin? Heil and Serum. So it's German. But look at all that tech on the top, guys. There. They've put reeds around the top there. Wires coming off. There. That's the most antique which I've ever seen on one roof. And it's on the bridge as well. Crazy they have these gateways, bridges. So, a panoramic of an exposition. And that is a bandstand where people can watch the White Cities. White City, which is what you're looking at here, is no longer there. It's disappeared. There's a tiny little stadium where it used to be, White City. They used to have the FA Cup in the White City years ago, before Wembley Stadium was built. And they had Olympics in there too. So the exposition 1900, the Palace of Electrical Things. What's he pointing that stick at? Little dog, couple holding hands. Ugh. Sweaty. Mildly moist. And it says 1900, so we'll give them that one. They're not lying there. So that one is the Electrical Palace. I think part of that is still there today, you know. Look at this. This is in Germany. Look at this. That's that same building, is it? No, it ain't. Different bridge. Two different entrances on this one. I was thinking that was the Amstel Church. It looked like Amstel Church in Amsterdam, but I would have recognised them, and I haven't seen them before. But it looks German to me, not Dutch. Ding, 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 ding. AI? Maybe not. All aboard the Skylark. The Eiffel Tower. It's got a gantry out. And there's Zeppelin coming and land. So they had, rather than at the top, apparently they had a gantry for balloon rides. Temporary. I know. Majing Effie. Stupid, isn't it? This is Ohio Valley exposition. Sorry, the rest of the ink, but it's an American exposition. Souvenir. Well, Ohio Valley. I'm not sure where that is, to be honest, but look at the Roman things that they had to build all the way down there in old America. Just stupid. But can you imagine walking around these places, expositions, how beautiful they were? Statues everywhere, cascading water. And you don't think of the colour as well. It was very colourful, more colourful than they are. Because the people of this period are super not colourful. They're all in mourning clothes. They all look miserable as well for some reason. Or very stoic. So, yeah, 10 million customers went through the Pan Pacific Exposition. It's all right. Yeah, they all are, yeah. Oh, actually, a bit of it might be on fire there. There's the 10 million. 2, 3, 4, 5. How are they showing up in the photographs and they're walking? What about the exposure problem? Maybe they nailed it by 1900. Chicago. It's World's Fair. Looks to be made of pencil and drawn in. See the wheel? It's pointing shit out. And the tops of these look like the tops of bells. Them four. Well, it's like 4 angels technology. The size of that statue there. Guessing that's a light to light the building up. So almost 800 of you in chat. Awesome to see you all. Thank you all for being here. And our cake's in chat. I'm in Vegas right now. Lots of this architecture looks like that here. I got a photo of Las Vegas, 1945. There's about 6 buildings in there. Can't believe they built all that shit in fucking 50 years. I tell you what, the side view of the Capitol building, I didn't realize how big it was. Have a look what's in the air by there, though, guys. So, excuse me, it's under the thing. A air balloon up in the air there. Oh, I don't think there's any more, but that's definitely an air balloon. Yeah, I never realized how big it was going back. It's big on the front, but look how fucking far back it goes, too. The Capitol building. In Washington, D.C., that was the big deal of Lincoln getting this dome finished, wasn't it? Look at the size of it. Then columns at the top are massive. There's all people on the roof there. They'd be snipers in the modern day, wouldn't they? Yeah, it's bigger than I thought. I've never actually seen it. That's that electrical thing again. Everyone checking out the beautiful fountains. Make you feel nice and cool on a hot day. I love fountains on a cool day. There's nothing better. Like negative ions make you feel all juicy. And here's the Paris exposition. And they had all of these lampposts. Beautiful crystal glass as well. Imagine the light off of them with a crystal glass. They never use crystal glass in the modern day. So these are still there. That pillar there and that pillar there are still there in the modern day. It's the same statues. Today. You could see them and them today. A lot of the other stuff's gone though. All the buildings and that thing there. But yep, they're there. So this is Chester Cathedral. Check their floor. Looks a bit Masonic compassy, but they definitely got some weird star thing going on. But look at the geometry. This is Chester in England, which is not Wales, but it's near the border of Wales. But it's a city I've never visited or walked around ever. But it looks lovely. Looks all medieval sort of architecture there and Tudor. Right, look at the fucking schematics they got here for Antiquitech devices, guys. Effort. And the geometry and the advanced mathematics. They don't really bother with all that, you know, the geometry in a skyscraper, do they? It's just elevation, space, and weight, isn't it? Weight distribution is all they're worried about in the modern day. But look at this thing. They must be super smart, the people that do all of this, though. God, look at that. Every single thing marked up with lines of perspective and distance and everything. Just crazy. Look at this thing. Somatic window and all the knobbly bits. Oh, my side is fucking killing me. All the knobbly bits. Look at that fucking window there. Looks like there's something missing out of that hole. I don't know why, but the knobbly bits are really pronounced, aren't they? Knobbly bits is a highly scientific term. They look like two eyes there. They look like two eyes, don't they? And a nose, maybe. Maybe that's just me. No, they do. They really do look like two eyes. They put a face in the door. Again, a huge door for little people. Yeah, look at the sacred geometry they put in this, guys. That's mind-blowing. How beautiful. See the somatic pattern? But look at that. They got the plan for the somatic patterns. I wonder what they charged at. They will have a specific frequency. That's a definite. It's crazy advanced stuff, isn't it? What happened to everybody? The whole world just got crap. Really stupid too. Look at this. I wonder what all of the stuff sticking up off of there is. It's not just aesthetics, because it looks a mess. It looks like an array of antennas all reaching up into the ether. That's covered in Phoenician statues, that one, isn't it? So somebody was on about mermaids earlier. I was reading about mermaids last night in an old Celtic book about Celtic folklore. Shit tons of encounters of mermaids washing up on South Wales beaches. Yeah, Eric Reza was on about it in chat just now. Coral herring chusica. Ken Wheeler showed 9 different types of wrapped copper coil. I watched that one. Different frequencies. I watched that one. I watched that one with Ken. Polyophthalmos horses. I don't watch too many of them nowadays, or any of them sort of channels. Years ago, before I was doing like Flat Earth British stuff, I was into like Electric Universe stuff. Retro Universe. I was like mad. I was reading all like Belasovsky, and I was convinced this place was really going to be reset, even before I even stuck my nose on fucking YouTube in 2014. Even before then, I was thinking all of that. Crazy. So a church is a replication of the body is a temple on one yang yang yangy. As you can see, a church has got all like attributations. So Jocelyn and Bois are the Nobilinis. The altar of sacrifice. I'm not so sure about that. Sounds a bit sucky. The porch is the ogonadals. The holy place is the tummy. The altar is in the neck. The ark is the mouth. Holy of holies up in your Brian. And the high priest turban. High priest turban. That's weird. Up on the crown chakra. Your brain is the seventh. Your ark is the brain. Okay, your ark is the brain. Lungs, incense, heart, ithora, kidneys 3, gut. So gate, the porch is number 1, is the gate. So that makes sense, doesn't it? Actually, it doesn't. If it makes sense if it was a woman having a portal. I don't know. No expert. Oh, there's the woman. East meets west. Indian temple plan shows how ancient Hindu sites translated the human body into architecture representation of the cosmos. Because basically, I am really convinced that the 4 angels is the mechanism for the human body and the place where we live. Right, let's get some Jesus blood going, guys. He's pouring blood into the cup. Yes. This is very expensive. Yes. Do you know how high this gets you? Very, very, very high. So, Jesus blood gets you high. Cigarettes were really good for you in the past. Did you know that? They're not anymore, but they are now. So a mascot, Mr. Sig, visits a hospital in 1948, offering patients cigarettes to make you feel better. On that note. It's good, isn't it? And more doctors smoke Marlboro than any other cigarette in the 50s, apparently. This is interesting. This is the Bedford Theatre in London. I'm guessing the theatre in May 1904. I'm guessing the theatre is through that door because that must be the side of the theatre. So they must have a car park at the back or something. Vaguely remember that Bedford Theatre. I think this is on. It is. This is on Camden High Street. This theatre. I think it's still there now, because I can remember that clearly. Yeah. So a lot of these boys here, they're in really good. These are the Irish Rifles. Okay, the Irish Rifles. And they've come over to France. It's the furthest they've been away from home. And they're really having a good time for now. In March 1871, Queen Victoria opened the Royal Albert Hall in Kensington Gore, London. And there it is, beautiful building. I've never been inside it. I've walked right round it and down them stairs there because that's where Arthur Daly walked down in the beginning of Minder, you know. Arthur Daly, a little dodgy maybe, but underneath, he's all right. We all know a bit of Arthur Daly, don't we? There it is, that Triskelion thing again. This guy, I don't know whether it is real. So, how to survive in a strange world after sliding into an alternative timeline? Anybody got any advice on this? No, actually, this is true because obviously it's not the Smithsonian Institute anymore, but actually the institution. I've never said that in my life. Now I've got to say it. It's not coming out of my mouth properly. See what I'm saying? So I think I'm in an alternative timeline. I think we definitely jumped over somewhere. I'm not sure when. Recently. Where we all died in Armageddon. Right, let's have a look at Canada. Ottawa, this city here got torched, or a lot of these buildings got like, well, the Parliament building caught fire, anomalous fire. Burned down and got ruined. But this is in Canada, and look at the old stonework. They're not doing like other parts of America. This looks like old England. But they got an amazing Parliament building. Size of it. Beautiful, isn't it? The throngs of people. They want to hold them back. Maybe we should put some police combs up, keep the people back. Look at the antiquitechy thing going on there as well. Okay, that's the side view. And this is the rotunda. This got burnt down as well, this in the past, as well as this Parliament building. But Ottawa gets freezing in the winter, so it only gives you a few months to actually build this shit. What gets me about this building is it's got flying buttresses. Well, let me work out the height. I don't know, 45 foot in the air, you don't need a flying buttress. The idea behind the flying buttress is to stop a wall buckling out, popping out. They only have them on very high buildings like cathedrals. That building is not high enough to warrant. So that would tell me that I think there's more further down. That's what I think. Flying buttresses, higher elevation, not for something so short. Maybe. So they've got a little bell there. Oh, I'd love to ring a little bell and have a house with bell. All in, a bottle of gin. So that's the Manor House in Ottawa. So they have beautiful summers. West Block, East Block. Ooh, lovely names. Sparks Street, good band of Sparks. And the post office is the big chunky one because you need a massive building to post little tiny letters. Okay, went the wrong way. Look at that thing. Oh, it's weird. They put the lamppost on a concrete footing so they didn't mess anything up. It's really nice. Beautiful lawn. Oh, she's a monster, isn't she? Absolutely huge building, that, the Parliament. Not too much going on. They haven't got a car park because I don't think anyone's driving at that period. Or actually anything going on. But it's a quiet time of the day. Is that someone's bayonet? I think that's someone's head there sticking out. Looking at all the throngs of people. Do you know what's going on? I do not know what's going on. Boy, it looks beautiful, the skyline of it, though. That's very pretty. So it's all still there. They rebuilt it all. They didn't actually knock it down when it caught fire. It just got gutted. And so is the nature of a political building. And then it all built back again. So is the nature of building back again. Okay, what does that say there? Excuse me. Detroit Photographic Company went up to Ottawa to take these. But look at the steel things up there. That's craziness, isn't it? And that's the Civil Hospital. Pretty big hospital. Again, they've got to have these little Buckingham Palace bits at the front. This is later. You've got the motor car. There's Model T Fords there. And the Royal Mint is looking like a castle, but they usually are. And an observatory. 2 observatories. So you can look at shit in the sky. And the House of Commons. You know, they're not common anymore, are they? That's what we need. A big coup. The king. We need the king to dissolve Parliament. He's allowed to do that. Do a Oliver Cromwell thing. Sovereign House Ottawa and the Government House. No more information on that. Don't know what flag that is flying. Doesn't look Canadian. So what's on the Canadian flag? Maple leaf. It's not very inventive, is it? I'd have had something better than a maple leaf. I would have something like cannon, a cannon, and a pair of knuckle dusters. Grand Trunk Central Station. Is that where you make a trunk call? It's probably only funny the first time. Aeroplane view of Ottawa. Oh, lovely. They got like sea next to it. No, probably not. It's on the River St. Lawrence. Okay, looking a bit more busy there. The Victoria Tower, named after Queen Vic. God love her. God rest her soul. God love her cotton socks. She only killed a few billion. So that's the bandstand. I've got the ladies in it. So, what if you have a big war with Canada? That'd be trippy, wouldn't it? No man's land across the American border. Artillery fire on Toronto. Nobody even notices because they're high on drugs. So, yeah, that could happen because in the beginning of, I think it was in The Simpsons. I think it was on a Simpsons episode. World War III starts with the war between Canada and Trumpsky. Or basically Castro and Trumpsky. It's also an Indian word. It's not very British, is it? Because Canada's supposed to be like a British colony, isn't it? It's supposed to. I thought it was. I don't know. I thought Canada was part of Britain. They told me it was when I was a kid. So, oh, yeah, all that shit's ours. It's like, fuck me, it's massive, innit? It's like, yeah, it's all ours. So. Does that mean Canadian people are ours? Do we rule them? Oh, yes, Martin, we rule all peoples. We're British. And then I find out years later, hang on a minute, Canada's basically America. They got like fast food joints and big fuck off highways and shit and everything. Apparently not everything anymore, though. I read about a trade war in the 1600s the other day. That caused a world war. It was called the Napoleonic Wars. They were actually bigger than the wars that followed in the century after and lasted a lot longer. A lot more got killed as well, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon the Napoleonic Wars were a world war. World War, whatever comes before one. World War nil, World War One, World War Two. That would make the next one World War Four. I just fucked everything up. Start over. It's not all that bad anyway. I think everybody, have been twats. They need to learn a lesson. Fucking treasonous fuckers. Like I said, love is going to win. They don't really like it, though. I noticed they're like, don't want to love. What's that on there? Nice, isn't it? I don't want to love. I think that might be something to do with map orienteering because we have a similar symbol all over Britain. It looks like a line with quite a fanning affair. They're dotted around all over Britain, but they done them in like 1910, I think it was, when they did the Ordnance Survey, and they're waypoints, if you like, markers. What we're looking at here is Bordeaux in France, city I've never been to, mind you. Let's have a quick zip through and look at some pretty pictures. How many of you? 750 of you in the chat. I don't know what's been going on. I've been talking for 3 fucking hours is all I know. Your favourite? What's your favourite, Smo? Income tax is unlawful, Mr. Marmite. No shit, Sherlock. It's fucking hell. They print all the money they need and terrorise us with taxes. It's a big nightmare. All of it is. And they'll lunch you to the North fucking Pole, won't they? But they don't have to do it. They just got all sorts of tax. Start a charity. Yeah. Oh, a charity. No, start a foundation. Foundations are good. You don't have to pay taxes. What about charities? No, you don't have to with them either. So what? Say you care about people, you're going to collect money for them, and then you don't have to pay taxes. Exactly. Do we get to keep any of the money? Fuck yeah, all of it. What about the poor people? Oh, they'll manage. They've managed up this far, haven't they? Oh, yeah. Look in Bordeaux, they got them Phoenician obelisks that I talk about. They've got in New York, Cardiff. I've seen these in Paris. I've seen these in Detroit. They are ships coming out the side with battering rams on them and anchors. What looks like a landing platform of a door. Possibly. Legislation is not the law, says John Smith. Yeah, exactly that. But having said that, even if I don't really want to talk about all that straw man stuff, to be honest with you, on my channel, because times are changing. I don't know what's cool and what's not anymore, but that, I'm sure they don't want that talked about. I'd love to be able to tell you loads of things right now, guys, but I'm not going to be able to. I'm not allowed to. Because it's Britain. And I'm not being a shit. I'm just trying to prolong my existence on YouTube and in the realm as well, by the way. Oh, Mago Exposition. Yeah, look at that. Oh, Mago. AU, is that for gold? I wonder if that's why they all places with AU at the beginning, like Austria or Australia, AU for gold. I wonder if that's because loads of gold in Australia. They called it AU. Could be. I don't know. So, let's ruins. Let's go, nobody. Austria. Yes, manage. Austria, your wonderful country. Win. I haven't been to Austria because it's landlocked, but I was, if you remember, in the Czech Republic a couple of years ago, only 10 miles away from Linz, which is in Austria. So I could have nipped over the border. But I went to the top of a mountain, and then I got caught in a thunderstorm, and then we witnessed Neolithic remains on the top of a mountain. It was absolutely mind-blowing. All on my channel somewhere. I'll look back to my trip there. So yeah, Phoenicians and mermaids, man. So yeah, it's not Fabo though. I could get there in a couple of hours from Cardiff. It's right, really close place. Anywhere in northern France is pretty close to Cardiff. Don't have to go far to get to France. Not that I ever plan a trip, you know. I'm not like in my mind planning a trip to France. I don't know what their laws are around certain substances. So I guess, you know, Holland's probably the best bet. Oh, Germany. I want to go Germany. I want to go Berlin. I do. So this is me, Flat Earth British Martin Leaker. Okay. And I've been around forever. If you don't know, these are some of the subjects I talk about, but I talk about pretty much everything. Do comedy, philosophy, you name it. World's fairs, architecture, resets, whatever tickles my fancy that day. And I bring it over to my internet channel and I share it with you guys. This video I'm going to share with you later. Now it says here, I'm going to just check because I don't want to get copyrighted. It does say it's by Thomas Edison. So I don't think I could actually get copyrighted off Thomas Edison. I think he's way brown bread. But it says public domain and it says it's all right to use except for the sound. So if I get a copyright for that, that would be a total shit. But you can't trust anything on YouTube. But this video is fucking brilliant. I was watching it. It's from 1911, is it? Really early anyway. Of Jack and the Beanstalk. And he steals stuff. And then the giant comes and chases him. It's absolutely brilliant. There is a fairy that turns up and lands him with the goods. So, yeah, 1,300 children took part in this movie. Which I'm not sure if it's... Oh, shit. It's okay to use. Let me just fire it on a bit. You can see what goes on. So there's the giant there. Getting pissed. He's got a like giant wife, giant house, giant club, giant axe. They sticks Jack in the pot. She's going to cook him. He nicks out of the pot and basically nicks the harp and goes back down the beanstalk there to his mother, and they are minted, basically. You know the story goes, guys. Don't have to explain Jack and fucking Beanstalk to you. Yeah. 3 hours talking. 3 hours. 3 hours talking now. Okay, there's more to come. I got things to post this week. It's just, as I said, I got to check things and that. Okay, thank you for being here, Simone. Free Soul Hippie, beautiful. And Magavelli's in the house. Matthew Titus. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. I didn't hear him mention Welsh in that little poem, did you? No, I did not. So all's good then. He only eats English. Nobody. Hugh is in the Jew. Hugh has been bringing some brilliant jokes today. I wish I could remember jokes the way he does. Von, Loved guiding yourself the other day. Hope you stay a regular thing. Yeah, we will. We'll have regular talks. We do. We're the same age, same sort of background as well. So we've got a lot to talk about. We like the same sort of humour. He likes Alan Partridge's mid-morning matters. So who doesn't? Alan Partridge is the best. Perfectly imperfect. Good to see you, Carol Herring. Morgan, good to see you, my man. And nobody. Eat real food. Try my best, mate. Try my best to cook. I cook my food and I try my best to have fresh ingredients. I cooked a curry today. I didn't do truth bites because I cooked the same curry and over again. Hugh has the best jokes. He does share. It's like literally a legend. He always makes me giggle. I just son of Overbrook, which is a gift because not many things make me laugh, except for mid-morning matters. So all my screen's gone blue. Oh, it's all right. It's gone back again. So, thanks, Alva Billy. Thanks, Isabel, bro. Thanks, Mr. Marmite. Love you in your better mood, Mr. Marmite. Oh, what's going on? Did you see that for karma? I said, I love your change of mood. And he's like, I hate it. No, it's not. There's no such thing. So many racism only exists if you mention race. I noticed that when I was a kid. It's like, well, if you keep going on about it, then it makes it a thing. If you don't talk about it because it's not a thing, because it ain't a thing, then it ain't a thing. And that's the perspective I'm coming from. It's only a thing, and that word, if you're thinking in them fucking ways, is what I think. Yeah, exactly that. I think I nailed it there. Bob Sykes. Combat theme. Carol Henning, Tartarian, juice. Thanks, Carter. Zealandia guy, you're a pro matey. Thank you very much. Professional YouTuber. You're 2025. Campbell and Madden, a guy sold with purity, pure good. Thank you for that, Simone. Thank you, Matthew Titus. Like your name. Okay, anybody I haven't shouted to, say goodbye because I'm going to be going now in a minute. I've got to make a cup of tea. Fancies a nice cup of tea. And yes, they make it up as they go along. Lady in the red dress. Lady in red is dancing with me. Not really. Estelle, good to see you. Oliver, dabbing. I'm colourblind. So is that. Simone. Taxis first, you'd feel their currency. Spit on their green. Oliver. Vaughn. Nobody. It's best not to give him any connection to it. I know it's shit and I do know the score with it, yeah. But I know thinking about it all the time is a bit pretty bad. Jackie Miller, yes, nicotine is good for your body. It chills me right out, Steve Rads, bro. Oh, you should try Rapé. It's like being dunked in a pool of yumminess. It's lovely. So, Cosmic 4 Peace. Yes, that's right. Cosmic 4 Peace. Bomb them into peace. They'll soon surrender. You're a straw man. We all are. We all are, mate. Don't worry. Maria, thanks, Dimps. Thanks for being here. Thanks for bringing the love and vibration, the higher vibration. Okay, it's a big effort to do it. I know for some people, but all you got to do is go to the hospital and get your give a fuck gland removed, like I did. I had mine removed very early on, so I was very lucky with all that. So, Isabella, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Eric, my bro, looking forward to next week with you on Zoom. Yes, Eric, that's going to be interesting. I'm going to bring some things that are going to splatter their minds. Will all the famous people be there? Will like Childress be there? And Brad and all of the other ancient alien peoples when I'm talking? I prefer Radium. Yeah, I should have a minute on time. Machiavelli? I bet they will be. Having a nose. See what a real flat earther looks like in the flesh. It's like, he looks like a normal person. Yes, he does, doesn't he? Talks like a normal person too. Yes, he does. I don't know. I'm frankly sure. Well, Dragon Sage, you're going to have to go back from the beginning and watch it. I need to sort the adverts out because if I don't get straight into the adverts when I finish this, YouTube will bombard it, making me look like a greedy cunt when I'm only putting one advert in. They always do it. They do it to all YouTubers. You got to get in there straight after and take the mid-rolls out. Otherwise, they'll just splatter you. They're evil. They do it to try and make you look fucking greedy. Horrible. Anyway, that's the game, innit? Yes, have a wonderful Sunday. We're going to be in Sunday in a minute. It's nearly 11. It's gone 11 in my hood. Tom? It is. It's my church. This is where I heal my hurts. I live in here. This is my church. Oh, okay, I'm going because my brain's hurting now. 675 of you. Going to have to go and find somewhere else to go. I'm afraid. Luke Adams. Apparently, there's 1 million videos published every day on YouTube, so they reckon. Yeah, so it's not going to be difficult. What I suggest is watch all my older videos. If you like this one, unless you've had enough of me already. I've been talking 3 fucking hours. I've had enough of me already. Michael? It's like, oh, God, his voice. It goes on and on. Essential oil Tinichka tin made from the heart divine. I like that, Deanne. Said I heard that before. It's really good. I think it's true as well. Cheese on toast. It's too late for cheese. I'll have nightmares, but don't have cheese this late or coffee or a cup of tea. Thanks, Ad. God, well, you've been around forever, Ad, since the beginning of Flat Earth Britishness. D, Dale, Neil. Neil, orange peel. This is your conscience speaking. Rick is still a virgin. Thanks for the great show. Thanks, Steve. Let me see. 1 more quarter. Thanks for that. Oh, Verity Walker. Good to see you. I like that name, Verity. Heidi Kins is in the house. Heidi Martin. Hi, Martin. I'm here. Heidi Kins. And Blase. Bye. Hollins. I like that. It's to the point. Bye, capital letters. Tommy, thanks for being here. Anyway, make sure to subscribe. If you like this video, make sure to click the like icon. Okay, and I'm just coming up to 70,000. It's only took forever. And I'm 200 off. So if you like, there's like 600 of you watching now. So if 666 of you watching now, subscribe. That'd be awesome. And I'll be back very soon. So yeah, hook up soon. Eric, keep an eye on your messages about Ting, and I'll be back soon this week, guys. Okay, I got things to upload as well for you. Okay. Oh, wouldn't that be fucking nice? Yeah, I gotta get going, guys. Peace and love to you all. Maybe the seed of your loins be forever fruitful in the belly of your woman. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Stay very epic, and that's the way we win. Okay, win-win, winner, chicken dinner. Thank you, Milwani. Well, I wasn't put you to be good, so don't worry about it, Kathy. Okay, we're already in hell and we're already dead. So there's 2 things you can lighten your load with. So. Yo, oh yo, 666 tricks. I know, smashing it on the old sacred geometry. If I stick my head upside down as well, it'd be 999. Could double. Sweet, isn't it? I will share any of you. Yeah, share. It is shareable. I only swore 3 times, and you see that they were only mild things that I said. I don't say terrible, bad swear words, guys. I don't say, the C word or anything like that. I don't like them. Don't like that word. Got it off my mother. My mother hated that word. But every other word out of my mouth, there's a word in my family they use, and I don't even think it's a word. They use it between every other word. So it's, oh, look at the bastard in rain. Oh, it's bastard in terrible, innit? Hey, Martin, can you bastard in put the bastard in kettle on? Every other word in my family, they use the word bastard in. And I don't even think there's a word bastard in, is there? No, probably not. They invented it. They invented a lot in my family. Anyway, I'm going. I'm going to go be annoying to myself. Stay there, guys. See you soon.